mind if I do?
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You heard all that on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball! Can't knock the hustle.
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
No, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. It's the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right, here we go. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Let's go. Let's effing go. Welcome to the show. Covino just started the show off the air saying, yo, is this guy gross or what? Hilarious. And it's a guy walking down the street, and he gropes a mannequin. He gropes a mannequin. It's a hot-looking mannequin. But in a gross way, the guy's like, la, 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 la. No, but what's funny about it is there's a girl watching like the security surveillance footage. She's like, why are guys so gross? Guys are gross. Oh, why would he do that? It's like he intentionally did that. Oh, it's a hot mannequin. We can do it. Hey. Rock out, everybody. That's why I brought it up, because I'll be honest, I think one time in all of our lives, you've been tricked by a hot mannequin. You've been walking through the mall, you're in Bloomingdale's or Macy's or the store, and you're like, oh, it's a mannequin. Oh, it's a mannequin. At least I have. Jeffrey Dahmer was tricked by a mannequin. He took it home with him. Did weird things with it.
Oh, is that true?
Did you watch it?
No, I never did.
I did not. Your recommendation made me not want to watch it.
Really?
Mannequins?
That's one of the most intriguing shows I've seen on Netflix in the past year. That's the one you didn't watch? I mean, It was pretty dark, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, if you want to keep that away from your vibe, I get it. But definitely worth the watch. I mean, I think we've all seen a nice mannequin. And through the years, they've gotten fatter asses, that's for sure. But what do you think, guys? Think about that. Think about that for a minute. You see a hot mannequin. Do you check it out? Because this guy... He did a little and like very quick, very innocent, kind of. And the girl at the store was like, oh, why are guys so gross?
Guys are disgusting.
Oh. I don't know. I think, in our teenage years, I think we'd all take a little glance, a little gander.
Oh. Can I say something with all due respect?
Sure.
Yesterday, I went to the gym.
Guys are gross, though.
I went to the gym, and then I went to the chiropractor, which I got to talk to Spot about. I went to the gym, and I saw Covino there. Gave him a little, yo, what's up, bro? As if we don't see each other 10 hours a day. Yo, good to see you. How you been? I saw you 20 minutes ago. I bumped into Covino at the gym, and I didn't even tell you when I was there yesterday. The gym that Spot and Covino live closest to is the one that gets rando ass. It really is. I don't know if it's like porn stars or models or influencers. Once in a while, it's like, who is that?
Vicky Vale. Stop the press.
But yesterday, I saw a girl. And this is like, begs the old question. Like, do you want a beautiful face and do you want a beautiful face or a hot body? If you can't have both. Because a lot of people say, well, you got to look at the person's face every day. If we're talking relationship, you want to be with a pretty person. You can't be with someone that you have to look at their ugly face every day.
This old doozy?
I only bring up the doozy because there was a girl at the gym who had like deceptively the greatest ass I've seen at that gym ever.
Yeah, I don't think Rich really came to say what's up to me. I think the ass brought him there like Pepe Le Pew. And then he happened to see me or used me as an excuse to get a closer gander, a closer look.
No, the girl's on the other side of the gym. That's why I don't know if you saw her.
No,
but
I don't think I did. I saw the other girl who looked like she was wrestling in the WWE.
Yeah, she was wearing like a gold, shiny like singlet. I'm like, we're at the gym. So I bring this up only because this girl, I could promise you, outside of those little booty shorts or whatever she had on, her ass was a 12. But God did not bless her.
She had Jen Seltler face?
Oh,
no,
Jen Seltler face.
Worse.
Oh.
Worse. she had her face. She was just not attractive. I don't want to sound mean.
That's mean. I take it back, kind of.
I don't want to sound mean, but the girl had she was abnormally unattractive, but we're talking the greatest ass and body, and
hey,
God, what
it's
what a trick.
I commend it. It's didn't hold her back any. She's getting it. So, what would you do? Be a creep like Rich and lurk around?
Why can't you have both?
It's not a case of the little tortilla girl spot. Just one of those wow, just so unfortunate for her because she, clearly puts the effort in. What an amazing body, but just unattractive. And then you say to yourself, what's the old preference?
I go with the pretty face because you could love a pretty face. You can't love someone's not in the same way. Hot body.
I feel is it easier to improve?
You could lust the hot body. You're not going to love the hot body.
Easier to improve a bad body or a bad face? Because bad face requires lots of surgery.
Not surgery, sometimes a little Botox, a little nip or tuck, but you're right, surgery, like a nose job or something.
But a bad body can be improved with a little bit of hard work.
But I also think as we get older and stuff like sex and delinquent behavior is less and less as you get older and older and older. You're still going to want to look at a pretty face.
Right. That's really it. I mean, the looks are fleeting all around, but you still see that face there, and that's the face I love.
Yeah, I just went
You're not
old
gonna look
school.
at it those are the.
I went old school for a second.
Titties.
Remember the old Covino Rich vanity days?
Yeah. That was the vanity era.
No, but
of CNR.
It was one of those if you're a single guy or
how
single
wrestling
woman.
had eras?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our vanity era.
Oh, Sarah dated a dude?
Yeah.
Sarah dated a dude before me that this guy was busted, but he was a ripped dude. I'm like, you were okay dating ripped dude that was busted? She's like, yeah, he was all right looking. I'm like, babe, I'm the first to admit, that guy's a handsome guy. One of Sarah's exes was
you know what I learned?
Ripped, but fucking
I learned Sarah loves muscles more than looks. You better get to the gym a little more.
Well, clearly not. She married me.
Just saying.
Well, I mean, in Rich's defense, I saw him there yesterday. By the way, you want to see that clip? I sent it to you.
Yeah, in my defense, when I met Sarah, I was in pretty damn good shape. Probably my best shape.
Look at that. Talk about good timing. Lucky timing. Well, hope you had a great Monday night. Hope you had a Pittsburgh Steelers sort of Monday. It's a World Cup Tuesday. USA all day. You failed. You didn't wear your shirt today?
Oh, I'm rooting for the time. No, I'm more a fan of I support Tigers more than USA.
Rich was really torn. Really put a lot of thought into, man, should I support the USA or just this Tiger shirt again?
I totally forgot until you just said that.
Of course you did. So, USA all day. Let's go USA. I hope you're enjoying your soccer, your football, and your football. And the question of the day is this guy a creep because he was being a creepy guy?
Absolutely.
Now, that makes sense. Is this guy really a creep because he was being a creepy guy? Or is this I used to do late nights, overnights at K-Rock, and Howard Stern left the real doll. His real doll would sit in our actual studio.
Oh, boy.
And it would sit across from me.
You banged it, didn't you?
No, but every once in a while when I'd be bored, you stand up and stretch, play a Metallica song. Boom, 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 boom.
Touched the city, didn't you? You smacked a cheek or two, didn't you?
You got to get up and walk.
Of course,
how do you do?
I've done this.
You take a pee,
go to the bathroom,
Metallica's
go to the
still on.
Walk to the kitchen, walk to the mail room.
I'd give a little and then go back to my seat every once in a while.
Fake real doll.
Yeah, I mean, I was a
smack a cheek,
horny fucking 20-year-old.
You looked at its
You give it a little lift.
You looked down there, didn't you?
I mean, does that make you all horned up, or does that make you a bad guy?
Did you look at its butthole?
I mean, it's not a real person.
I could say I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, but it's not a real person, so I don't know if creepy behavior.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is what this guy did really guys are so gross? Or is this just a guy being a guy and getting caught doing it, right? Guys are different around other guys.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Let's see the video.
It's really creepy.
Yeah, but it's very quick. Here he is.
Why are men disgusting? What the hell? Ew. He looks to see if anybody's there to watch him.
Crap.
Sir, you are freaking disgusting. That was totally intentional. Ew.
That is gross.
Yeah. Gross. Oh, his gross.
I hate her voice, but I totally agree with her sentiment.
Yeah. I can't respect her spot. She has bangs.
Like honestly,
banging, bro.
my reaction is ew, gross.
That shit is funny though. It's kind of funny because I could see like just an old fucking. He's like a bit of a pervert. Doesn't mean he's like a bad guy though.
He's low palming her vag.
Yeah. I mean, low palming cinnamon, that doesn't make you a pervert.
No, that don't make you a pervert. It's
low
just,
palming
it made me laugh to see the young woman's reaction
low
to
palm.
the gross guy.
Oh,
That shit is funny. It's gross, but it's funny. I'm sorry, it made me laugh a little bit.
Gross.
What a
Yo,
creep.
something else that really made
she
me
does
laugh.
have bangs. That's gross.
Yeah,
Ew,
she's
gross.
cute. There's nothing wrong with her.
Nah, she got bangs.
Oh, she's super cute, but she got bangs.
3 bangs. Something that
She bangs.
made me laugh, and you could play along at home, guys.
Franz is right. For all we know, that is Cinnamon Wilson.
That's probably Cinnamon Wilson.
Pervert or not, the
Nah.
choice is yours.
That's how I picture Cinnamon Wilson.
Make your call.
You make the call.
There it is. You make the call. Let us know. I saw another clip this morning that made me laugh. It really made me laugh. Like so much I sent it to everybody because it was so dumb. And I follow all of this guy's videos. I don't know his name, but we'll give him props right now. But I've watched almost all of his videos. He's in my algorithm. And this is a question. This is another question. First question. Question number 1. Is that guy a pervert? Right?
Yes.
Oh, definitely a pervert.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Slightly.
Especially since he got caught, but he wasn't hurting anybody. Second, are you the only guy? Are you the only guy?
It's a great question.
Are you, like, think of something that makes you say, am I the only guy?
I think I'm the only guy for one thing.
Okay.
I got
I
one.
have like a few. Let's see what this guy has to say. It made me laugh. He's at the supermarket and he's looking at like random products.
I love this clip.
Yeah.
When you sent it to me,
Yeah.
it did make me laugh.
Yeah.
Bisco sugar wafers? If you eat Bisco sugar wafers, nobody eats those. So if you do eat Bisco sugar wafers and you're watching this, congratulations. You're the only person on the planet that eats Bisco sugar wafers. And if you eat Lorna Doone shortbread cookies, then your name must be Lorna Doone. Because nobody eats that shit but you. So Lorna, you don't want to be wasteful, do you? You better get started. Because there's a lot left, you old bitch.
Yo, let me tell you, that guy is the funniest weasel-looking dude I've seen.
I've seen that guy
Have
before.
you seen his other clips?
I've never seen him, but he seems funny as hell.
He's fucking hilarious, dude. I don't know who he is. What's his name? He deserves props.
Honestly, his name is,
He makes me laugh.
Evan Breen.
Evan.
Oh, maybe he's my.
Maybe he's your.
Shut up. That's definitely cut from the same
Same
cloth as
cloth
my
as-
brother-in-law.
Yeah, maybe they're related.
That's Chris's. That's my sister's
This guy was big
baby
on-
daddy's name.
I remember him from Vine. He was big on Vine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's funny, dude.
and he took that and moved it to TikTok. Good for him.
He plays this like really dumb, like, it's fucking funny as hell. Are you the only guy? I'll tell you what, my dad, remember, I used to ride with the vending machine repairman.
He looks like Steve from Stranger Things.
So my dad always had snacks when he would fill up the vending machine. So my dad always had like Lorna Doones and things like that in the back. So I used to house them as a kid. I get it. You know, as an
And your
adult,
name better be Lorna Doone.
yeah, as an adult, I often wonder exactly what he wonders. That's what makes me laugh because it's like, who is buying enough Clark bars that they have to keep, keep the inventory going? I've never seen anyone
I
buy
think about
Clark
that
bars.
when you're at CVS or Rite Aid and you're like, look at all these like, how often are they restocking the Three Musketeers? Who's buying a Three Musketeers bar on like
Three
a
Musketeers
Tuesday?
is way more popular than
Lorna Doone.
like
Like a whatchamacallit, yeah.
You know?
I'm pretty sure Lorna Doones, they've cornered the market on post blood donation snacks.
Yeah.
Is that what you get?
I feel like that and I feel like I've had it on a plane once, but I'm pretty sure they give
No,
them
on a
out
plane
after-
you had Biscoff.
That's Biscoff is another one. Have you ever seen Biscoff in a store? I haven't.
Can I tell
They've
you?
cornered the market on plane.
I'm not
treats.
trying to be contrarian, Spot, because I was fascinated by it. My mother-in-law at her house had like the home version of the airplane cookies. And I'm like, you bought these outside of an airplane? I'm like, they sell those Biscoff sugary, buttery cookies? Yeah, they sell them in a bigger pack. And I'm like, you're the one person, Cindy.
Are you the only guy? And that's the beauty of the internet and our show, because a lot of times throughout the years when I felt like I was the only guy, I'd state an opinion. I realized there's a lot of people out there like, oh yeah, I do the same thing. Or, oh yeah, I remember that. Or, oh yeah, no, I ate that too. You realize through this show and through the internet that, oh, you're not the only guy. But that shit made me laugh. The Lorna Doone, the what was the first one? The sugar wafer? Bisco sugar wafer?
Sugar wafers.
Fucking hilarious. Because who is buying this shit? You know, I'd love to see. That's the only, you know what? That's the one thing I'd want to know from like the person at the cash register. Like, yo, who buys this?
Honestly, those are brands that they like ship to Aldi.
Yeah, it's wild.
And that I would buy.
So what is yours?
Oh,
like,
they're
am I
not-
the only guy?
And feel free to chime in. 412, the letters CNR show.
That's what amazes me too. There's a whole set of off brands that Aldi sells, right?
Yeah.
Do they make them just for Aldi? Like, I don't understand, because it's a whole set of brands that are specific that I only see at Aldi.
I think all people are the corner of the market. On
Yeah,
these
I
things,
have a
you
few
know?
things that I'm like, am I the only person? Or it doesn't even need to be like one item. It could be something you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like,
throughout
am
the years,
I
it's
the
like-
only one? I'll give you a few. I feel like I'm the only person that buys a particular candy once in a while. I feel like I must keep them in business. If I do buy candy, which is rare, I'm talking maybe every month or so, I'll buy Dots. And I'm like, I'm the only guy.
You and my mom.
You're
I don't
the
know
only guy.
anyone.
You're the only guy, though.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else that buys Dots.
You and my mom.
I will fucking buy Dots.
I
and
love Dots. Ooh.
gummy and sugary and delicious. I love Dots, but I know,
You're the only guy.
dude, I'm not in denial. I'm not like, yo, God, everyone loves Dots. I don't know how, but
Stick to your teeth.
I
Pull your filling out.
don't know anyone else that likes Dots but
I
me.
like them, but I would never buy them.
Like when the kids when kids got mini boxes on Halloween, I was like, hand those over.
Are
I
Dots
fucking
like
love Dots.
Juju fruits?
I love
jujubes.
I love Juji fruits too, Spot. I
Are
feel
they
like I'm the only
Are
guy.
they the same thing? I hate those types of, like Swedish fish. I hate Swedish fish because they stick to your
but
teeth.
Dots are extremely sticky where you will pull a filling out. Like if you got
Yeah. I love fucking Dots.
Have you ever had tropical dots?
No, they're gross.
Rich is the expert. You know what,
Dots.
Rich? You're the only guy.
Dots.
My mom might be the only woman.
I'll give you another one.
Or maybe it's old women and rich.
I've never seen anyone use this toothpaste except my dad.
Aquafresh.
Oh, Topol to take out the stains. Oh.
No, Spot, you got to go traditional Dots.
Have you ever had these? When was the last time you had these?
on the paper?
On the
Those
paper?
The other type of Dots? No.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question, not to get off track, but what's the difference between Juji fruits
Rich, you should get
and
candy
jujubes?
Well, they're so different. Juji fruits are similar to Dots, it's just shaped
Jujubes.
different. Juji fruits
And
are
jujubes are those like hard ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
juju-
jujubes are jujubes are
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
They're hard.
Oh, so Juji fruits are like dots.
Juji fruits right there. See, Spot, open up right there. That's Juji fruits.
Oh,
They're like they're sort of like
different
Dots, but
shapes.
I like Juji fruits.
Yeah, Juji fruits, but I haven't had them in forever.
I eat that shit all the time.
You're the guy.
If I go get candy, I'm
Yeah.
getting Juji fruits and Dots, and I'm the only person. I admit it.
Yeah, you are. Wow, isn't that wild? Rich is the only one.
I'll give you another one. Spot, look this up. Toothpaste. My dad, since the 80s until now, I go to his house and I'm like, I don't even know where you find this. How you're the only guy. My dad uses Pepsodent toothpaste.
Pepsodent. Is that like what they would like dump the dentures into it and let it fizzle out?
No,
Maybe
that's-
I'll clean. That's Pepsodent.
Pepsodent and forget it.
Pepsodent
No,
and
it's
forget.
not a denture thing.
Oh.
It's yeah. That
I mean, I know it. Yeah,
my dad uses Pepsodent, and I'm like, who uses Pepsodent?
your dad.
My dad.
He is the
Like,
only guy keeping him in business.
I don't know one other
Your
person.
dad and I bet like old foreign.
I've never been to someone's house, Covino. I've never been to a hotel. I've never been anywhere where it's like, oh, Pepsodent toothpaste. I'll give you one. Stanley T from the Morning Mashup.
Yeah.
He ordered hundreds of them. So once they went out of stock in business, he still has them. He uses Ban roll-on deodorant
Ban?
from like the 90s.
That's ridiculous.
But
He's a 6'5" giant black
He
man. He's
uses
using like
Ban.
teenage
He uses-
woman deodorant.
Ban roll-on deodorant from the 90s. He bought like hundreds of them. And he's like, it's my thing.
It's my smell.
Quick dry antiperspirant.
Was Ban for men and women? I don't remember. I remember it though. The little roll-on
Yeah,
thing.
ban. Yeah,
Ban for
yeah,
men.
Ban for men.
Yeah, he's definitely the only guy. Definitely the only guy. So
And is there something you do, like a food combo or something where you're like, am I the only one that does that?
yeah, I like flavored Tootsie Rolls. So if I go around and I see people have a little dish of flavored Tootsie Rolls, I take the vanilla and the cherry. I
hate Tootsie Rolls.
The vanilla and the cherry.
You're not alone though. You're not alone though. You know why? I found out that
Drools comes coming.
two people I love also share my love of this. You
Yeah.
and Nicole from the Morning Mashup.
Look at that.
Nicole's like, you know what my
So I
favorites
still
are?
might be the only
No,
guy.
my favorites are, girl. I'm like, what?
Cotton candy.
She
sweet
goes,
as gold.
the off-flavor Tootsie Rolls. I'm like, are you kidding?
I love the
Covino, and I
vanilla
love the vanilla ones. The blue ones are the best
I got
ones.
one. I'm the only guy. I'm a big Fun Dip kid. I
Fun
loved
Dip?
Fun Dip, right? No, hold on. I'm not saying that's it. But people always, they didn't know what to do with the lick'em stick.
You put it up your ass.
I would put that, shove it right up my... No. But I would love that chalky taste. And I still do. Like, wait, you're not going to eat the lick'em stick?
I think the
And
stick was the best part.
Fucking
There was
hell,
something
eat the
about
hell
it.
out of that
It was
stick.
like a chalky, sugary. I agree.
Tastes like chalk. I
liked it.
loved it. I think I'm the
shoulda-
only
you
guy.
shoulda-
Oh, really? So you liked it too?
Honestly, you should have been this for Halloween. You could have shoved the lick'em stick up Rich's ass.
Dude, if Fun Dip.
Or is that Rich?
Fun Dip. The lick'em.
My side gig, guys, I was a Fun Dip costume
Where'd
model.
you put that lick'em stick?
Yeah, I know what they're trying to say, lick'em stick. I know what they're trying to do. I remember I bought a 26. I got an Atari 2600 when I was a kid, and it came equipped with a joystick.
I know. I remember what your dad said.
Yeah, I know joystick. I know what they're trying to say. I know what they're trying to say, fucking joystick. And I was like, what are you talking about, Dad? Lick'em stick. I get you. You don't think I get it? Lick'em aid.
So I was
Lick'em aid.
I was doing something the other day,
Fun Dip is the bomb.
and I didn't think I was the only one, but I happened to be talking to our pal Nicole, and she's like, "Oh my god, I do that every week." And I was like, "I guess it's not that original." I'm big on. I scoop up chicken salad with salt and vinegar chips, and I think it's like the greatest combination
That sounds nice.
in the world. No, I mean I know it's typical, but I was like, "Am I the only one that like does this on the regular?" Like, I'll buy salt and vinegar chips and scoop chicken salad, and that's like a lunch. And I've heard other people like, "Yo, I do that all the time. That shit's awesome."
I don't think you're the only guy because it's very like if you're buying sub sandwiches, you know, you get nice salt and vinegar.
No, yeah, I get. I don't think
But
that's
with the
atypical,
salad, but
but
it's a
I've
rich
heard
thing.
and since I brought it up, a couple people have been like, "Yo, I do that all the time." I use the salt and vinegar chips to scoop chicken salad
As an
specifically.
adult, though, I still take like
It's a
a
nice
salt
combo.
and vinegar chip,
Yeah.
and I'll crush it in my sandwich.
Sandwich.
Oh yeah,
I used to love scooping hummus up with cheese.
no, see, now we're losing focus.
No,
Now.
no, yeah.
Losing focus. Are
Why?
you the
That's
only
what I do.
guy?
Are you the
Am I
only
the only
one?
guy that would do that?
Nah, you're not the only guy.
You're not-
Hummus with cheese?
and we're not the only guy to crush a potato chip on a sandwich.
That's why I said adult. I wasn't sure, but we all admit it that we still do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, how about this? I'm the only guy. I can't be the only guy, but no one ever talks about it. I've been using Mio water squirts since I saw them advertised at the Super Bowl with Tracy Morgan.
I thought that was a trend that went away. I'll be honest, I didn't even know they still make them.
You didn't even know I used them.
No.
I use them all the time. I run through them. Like, yeah, I'm
Gross.
done. I
Gross.
use them. I use them for my kid. I use them for me. I use them all the time. Am I the only guy? By the way, am I the only guy? Because no one talks about that ever. Like I'm always like, oh sweet, oh yeah, oh yeah. Just flavored water. Malic acid is the #1 ingredient there. I'm not sure what that is. But I checked.
Doesn't sound right.
It's like
Why not just
it's in all like natural fruits, I think.
why not just drink water?
Because that flavors the water. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's a flavor.
When I was a kid,
It's water.
and if I still had access, I'd still do it now. I know it. I would get into savage mode, right? You know when you just lose all control? As a kid, it was worse. As a kid, if someone had Kool-Aid or any sort of powdery, sugary drink,
This is gross.
this is no joke, though.
I can't believe this.
I would take the full-on scoop of Tang, of Kool-Aid, of iced tea. Even, iced tea. And I would go, scoop. Those are big scoop.
Do you do
things.
that with-
And like,
Do you do that with pre-workout as an adult? No. You ever see
I've
people
tasted
dry?
it, though,
You ever see
yeah.
people dry scoop pre-workout?
yeah, was I the only guy, though? That
Yes,
I would
yes.
still do that. I would
That's
eat
fucking
the
disgusting.
sugar by the...
You would just eat
And then I-
Kool-Aid sugar.
Sizzle in my mouth. It's fantastic.
You know what? I'll
Kool-Aid
give you this.
especially.
I'll give you this.
Lemonade, lemon
when
time,
mom
country time.
when mom before the Snapple Nestea Arizona iced tea rage of the 90s and 2000s, when mom would mix the iced tea in the jug, what was it? 4C? Was that the brand?
yeah. They also made breadcrumbs, didn't they?
Yeah.
Spot, can you Google image 4C iced tea to give people a little throwback? Because 4C iced tea was that big canister.
Eat the shit out of it.
I would say if I would individually do a cup for myself, I would want a little residue at the bottom of the cup. Like I feel like my last couple sips, I want it to be the sugary iced tea residue.
On a side note, I'll tell you this. My family, league leaders of the most sugary iced tea you ever had in your life growing up.
How are you guys not all diabetic?
I think I am.
We used to crush pitchers of this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know that same,
4C iced tea. I'll be honest.
you know that
I'm
same
with you.
pitcher that everyone had?
Yeah.
My
with the
family
orange
spot.
one?
I don't know
The
about
orange
your
top?
family. I'm with the Covino family on this one. My family was big on an extra scoop. Like it was the sugariest sugary
Most
iced tea.
Sugary iced tea. My mom is number one.
You know
Number
this pitcher that your mom got at a Tupperware party
yeah, everybody
that
had
everyone had?
Even
This
Barry
is the
had
iced
that.
tea pitcher.
I remember Barry like, yeah, bro, don't drink all the iced tea my mom made, bro. That's why I always hated going over people's like houses. You had to live by their fucking mom's rules.
Which is crazy because you could have just taken a full pitcher of water, put 2 more scoops in, and you would have had to iced tea again.
To be honest,
It wasn't like she brewed it in the sun.
Don't drink it all. Meanwhile, this guy would be like guzzling all my iced tea at my house.
You know what's interesting about that? That's I think subconsciously, Covino. That's why.
Yeah, I hated it.
That's why when I have people over, I'm like, help yourself. Have what you want. Do whatever you want because I hated the rules of like. Don't finish all the iced tea or some ridiculous rule.
Bro, don't go walking through the living room. The vacuum marks are just right.
Don't
Mama
do
yelled at
that.
me, man. Like, what? I can't drink iced tea. I can't walk in your living room. Can never do nothing. Anyway, are you the only guy?
It's a great question.
Are you the only guy? Chances are you're not. But every once in a while, you're like, yeah, I don't know anybody that does that.
Statistically speaking, you can't be the only guy.
I don't know who's eating. Do you know any guys, young men, buying Lorna Doone cookies because they're like, yo, that's my shit.
Buy some today. Dip them in frosting.
I haven't bought them maybe in years, and I'm wondering if anyone still does because I feel like when I was a kid, I loved them. Like, who is keeping them in business? I was a monstrous fan of Vienna fingers, like the vanilla Oreos. They were.
Oh, they're great.
Vienna fingers.
My
Vienna
mom buys
fingers.
those.
Yeah.
I feel like Vienna fingers.
I don't buy them personally, but I'll rock
Vienna
the shit
fingers
out of them.
were always at like school events. Like someone would always bring Vienna fingers to like to snacks, like kids parties.
Vienna finger. I'm saying the right thing, right? Yeah, they were like Oreos, but they were cream filled, longer vanilla ones.
Ooh, Vienna fingers cheesecake. Yeah.
But who's buying Vienna fingers now? Is anyone putting in their kids' lunchbox?
Hell
you
yeah,
think?
my mom's still buying Vienna fingers.
Keebler.
So
Oh, what
anyway, something to think about. It could be a weird habit that you can't even think of right now. Like, man, yeah, every time I'm taking a shit, slap my thighs. I mean, whatever it is. Are you the only guy? I don't know.
Vienna fingers.
Vienna fingers are good, man. They're really good.
Maybe I'll incorporate this into the kids' lunchboxes. Like give them one cookie as a little treat. Because Vienna finger, you know what it is? There's a lot of things that
I
we
buy
had.
Nilla wafers.
There's things, Covino, that we. Oh, you know what? They have mini Nilla wafers, so you feel like you have a handful of them. They're not bad for you.
Yeah, Nilla wafers. My grandmother always used to buy. I never bought them.
I buy them.
But I'm saying,
They're great
Spot,
for like banana pudding.
Spot
Yeah.
the lunchbox treats and the treats you and your brother and sister would have when you were watching like Ninja Turtles and stuff.
Ecto Cooler.
How many of those have you had as an adult? Because then you wonder if you haven't had them, someone must still be eating them to keep it in business. Like
Kids.
Those EL fudge, like the circle cookies with the hole in the middle where it looks like they drizzled
Those
the
are
chocolate.
fantastic,
What are those? Like the
Oh, you mean the El Fudge?
El fudge? Are those the
Yeah, those
EL
are the
fudge?
Mexican
The El
ones.
fudge?
They're Mexican.
El fudge.
El Fudge. El Fudge.
Yeah, but those are great.
I'm with Lynn. Vienna fingers greater than Oreos. I do like those better than Oreos.
Here's a fun
El
little game.
Fudge.
You know, when you're shopping down the aisle, look at all the brands. Like, who buys that? And when you stop by your next vending machine, we had one at Fox Sports too. Like, look at all the options. You're like, who's buying that?
El Fudge.
Oh, not the EL fudge. Not those guys, Spot.
He's
Those
talking
are good
about
too.
the classic ones with
The
the
classic
stripes.
one with the stripes. It's a circle cookie, and it looks like someone did a
Oh.
little drizzle drazzle on it.
So not
Great.
the
I
El
feel like I
Fudge.
remember when they were invented.
You could
'cause, like,
fucking put them all. You could. You know what I would eat all the
they
time
changed
too?
my life. Those cookies.
My grandfather would
You're
dip.
thinking of these are the. I think these are the El.
Spot. They look similar enough to a Girl Scout Samoa, but they're not. Like they're circle with like a
I'm
fucking
telling you,
drizzle on
I,
them.
I remember the day
know
my
what
mom
you
gave me
mean.
those for the first time. I was like,
Oh,
why
the
you been holding out on these things?
You're thinking of fudge stripes.
Fudge stripes. are my
Fudge
shit.
stripes.
Fudge stripes. are
EL
the
Fudge
best.
is the sandwich.
Okay, yeah, I've had those. Too.
Fudge stripes are the ones you're thinking of. Let me pull them up.
Fudge stripes. Those are such a big part of my childhood. Now, my
Fudge stripes
grandparents.
this morning.
You know when I feel this a lot though, Rich? I feel this like you're the only guy when I talk to my Uncle Joe a lot.
Fudge stripes.
Oh yeah, those are the ones.
Fudge
Yeah,
stripes.
fudge stripes.
My Uncle Joe talks about shit like that nobody talks about. And I'm like, yo, you're the only guy, dude. Like he talks to me, first of all, he's like, yo, bro, you know what the best cereal was, babe? I'm like, what? He's like, and you know these references because I throw them out there once in a while. His two that he always brings up are King Vitamin and Kaboom. I'm like, dude, you're the only guy.
Yeah, like
you're
Uncle
the
Joe.
only Kaboom sucks,
Those were
dude.
discontinued in '88.
I'm like, they were the worst. He's like, bro, they were the best. I'm like, no, they weren't. I remember they suck. You're the only guy that misses them. You're the only guy that talks about
Uncle Joe
You're the
does.
only guy. My whole life.
Does he chew fruit stripe gum?
Oh, I eat fruit stripe gum.
You know I'm all about psychology.
Yeah.
I would love to figure out like what happened in our lives. So we were given this stuff as kids, right? And there reached a point in our life where we stopped either receiving or buying these things and moved on to other foods.
Yeah.
And then unless you have children, you really don't bring these things in your household. It's almost like you mature, your palate matures.
You grew out of it. Yeah.
You grow out of it, but what's keeping us from buying this? Like I specifically avoid cereal aisles. I never go down cereal aisle.
My sister Grace hasn't.
The cookie aisle.
She still buys
cracker
peanut butter
aisle.
crunch.
Because they're all, it's the cookie cracker aisle, the cereal aisle. And like I also rarely go down the chip aisle. I don't know if it's I just got to a point where I'm like, I can't have these things in my house because I'll make myself fat.
It's kids spot.
It's
100% kids.
Brings it back. Like
It's
Goldfish all of a sudden made a comeback.
100% kids. But I lived with you for a year before your wife moved out here. Yeah. Before I had kids, none of that shit was ever in my house. But you know what? You have to give kids snacks and lunch boxes. And what do kids want? They want cupcakes. They want a Hostess cupcake.
All day I dream about snacks.
Like I don't even have cereal anymore. Like I feel like certain cereals when we were kids used to be advertised for adults. Like
tell you, babe, Boo Berry was the best.
Like
Boo Berry, babe.
Like the bran flakes and like the
Kashi?
grape nut and, and all like the shitty cereals that had no excitement to them were always advertised for adults. But I feel like as an adult, I never buy cereal.
Because I think as an adult, you got the hint that like, yeah, this isn't really good for me.
Right?
You learned, but you have kids again.
Plus nutrition has changed a lot since the 80s.
Spot. I didn't go down a cereal aisle for easily 10 to 20 years of my life. If you go in my pantry right now, there's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there's Fruity Pebbles, there's Cheerios, there's Cocoa Puffs. There's like canisters of like 4 or 5 cereals. It's
Rich got them bootios.
Yo, jelly cups, Jello and like pudding cups. Yeah, when was the last time you had those?
My sister Dawn chimed in. She said Swiss Miss pudding. Only mom.
Oh no, I'm with you. Swiss Miss
pudding. Yes.
Swiss Miss.
But it is funny.
The vanilla chocolate one?
Yeah, it's weird how you fall into
Swiss
these
Miss.
patterns, man. Because
You mean your mom have the same Dots Swiss Miss puddings? The Swiss Miss pudding.
There's always Swiss Miss puddings,
Bro.
Pudding packs in my parents'
Your
house.
mom-
If I open up the fridge at my parents' house and Swiss Miss isn't there, I'm like, oh, mom's slacking. You know,
Can I tell you that I knew
no ice cream
I
sandwiches?
knew your mom was I knew your mom was a special mom, but if your mom has Swiss Miss swirl on standby, Spot, can you Google image
My mom
Swiss
is the
Miss
Swiss
swirl? Then I think I love her more than I ever thought.
You could always guarantee that there's some sort of like a Italian ice in my freezer at my parents' house, Swiss Miss puddings, and then Dad drinks those. What are those like? What are those shakes that old people have?
Ensure.
Yeah, my dad is like, yeah, you can have some of those. I'm like, thanks, Dad.
They're good protein.
Yeah, Ensure. That's exactly it, Spot. That's always in my parents' fridge. But, you know, you look around and you do wonder, who's buying that shit? Yeah, my parents always have
Swiss Miss swirl.
Always have that.
Look at that.
It's funny, though, because you know what?
Made with
You'll
fresh
probably
milk.
get to a point in your life where you buy that stuff for nostalgic reasons. Because right now it's not on your radar to buy it. Are you going to buy that right now? Probably not.
No.
But then you'll see it and you're like, yeah, I used to love that. I used to love when Mom would buy it.
I mean, to wrap
And then
this
buy it
up, to
Are
wrap
you
up
the only guy?
to wrap up the Spot part of the question though, was like, when do you buy it again? Like Hostess donuts, as we realized they were called, the little Hostess donuts. The only reason they're on the mix and in the in the mix and on the radar is because kids need a snack at school. You could pack them a little turkey sandwich, a little chicken nuggets, whatever you want to pack them. But other than that, what are you going to give them? A couple tomatoes, maybe a couple carrots, and then a dessert. So what do you give them? Fucking donut.
I got one. Are you the only guy? I'll have a cup, and I use that cup for like about a week before. Just one cup. Honestly, I can go like 5 days at least before I toss it in the sink. I'll use that cup for 5 at least days.
What do you mean, like a water cup?
What do you think? I'm like
No,
swearing one right now?
No, but what do you have like in
a
a
plastic cup or a glass.
Yeah.
But it'll be my cup for like 5 days at
Oh,
least.
yeah. I use the
They'll
same.
sit there
I
like,
use the
"Where's my
same
cup?"
water bottle. You know, I rarely clean that thing.
Just to not do dishes.
Am I the only guy?
Are you the only guy?
Am I the only guy? There's probably like weird things for you that you're not the only guy. Like you have to have the volume on your TV on an even number. Like like weird tendencies that you're like, am I the only person? You're not.
Yeah. No. Well, that's what I started off with. Like, chances are you're not. And that's
Am I the only person that?
And,
Like I know that you're one of two people. Like I'm the type of person that needs my inbox to say 0 emails. Spots could say 28,400, and that's okay with him.
28,000.
Mine says 0.
Like
Mine says 0 unread.
100 and something. 111,000.
I would prefer if mine said that, but unfortunately, mine says 38,283.
That's inside. That means you didn't read them?
No, I think when I merged like my AOL emails or whatever into my Gmail, when I merged the accounts, I think it all got messed up and whatever.
It's an interesting way to start the show. I agree. Are you the only guy? Because there are products, and you wonder, right? Like, I think about that with, there's 300 million Americans, right? We all need to eat. We all need to wear shoes. We all need to wear clothes. So sometimes I'll see a clothing brand. I'm like, who buys that? And then I think to myself, well, there's 300 plus million Americans. Each of them have multiple things to wear, which means there's hundreds of millions of clothing items.
Yeah, but I don't know
purchased.
Anybody. Like, do you know anybody? And you'll ask someone random, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that buys, I'm a Mr. Goodbar guy? You just know that from Halloween Camp.
I like them. Yeah, I only like the small versions.
Yeah.
I like
even them I don't want.
The small. Yeah, I like them as part of an assortment, but I don't want a full-on Mr. Goodbar.
Lorna Doone.
I actually do like that Hershey's mix. What is it? The Mr. Goodbar, the
Crackle.
I love those.
Yeah.
In small doses. Yeah.
Here's two that we grew up with.
out.
Here's two that we grew up with, and I still wonder, like, who's buying that now? Because there was a lot of advertising for both of these in the 80s. Nestle's Crunch. That's why I love Nestle's Crunch. When's the last time you bought one of those?
It's been a minute.
Right? And Klondike bars. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Fucking nothing. Because I wouldn't even buy one right now. I don't know anyone that does. So are you the only guy? I turned more into food, but it could be habits. It could be...
Who's buying Klondike bars is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. So someone is. So the answer is someone is. I just don't know who the fuck is. So...
Yeah, like when you say to yourself, like, who's buying that clothing brand because they're in business and they're making a lot of money?
Somebody. More like nobody.
That's a good one. What are you the only guy? Think about that today.
Habits.
Go throughout your day, and while you're doing these things throughout your day, note to yourself, like, ooh, is this peculiar behavior or typical behavior?
Like, am I the only guy that when I see a mannequin? I'm just kidding. That shit was funny.
All right.
And that dude, what's his name again? Breen?
Yeah.
That dude is funny as hell. He talks some stupid shit, man. He's funny. I see him a lot on social media, so props to him. There's two guys I can't. Here's another weird phenomenon to get the show started. It's just mental blocks. No matter how hard I try, I can't remember that dude from Barstool's name with the mustache and the long hair. The funny interviewer
Caleb?
guy? No, the interviewer guy.
Is that his name?
Mustache.
I can't ever remember his name. And I rarely have these moments, but he's one of them. But he's funny and he's really good. And this dude, I've tried to remember his name before, and it's my brother-in-law's name. You think I'd remember? I can't remember this guy's name. So every once in a while, you have mental blocks like that. But that dude from Barstool is also really funny. Rich is bugging out because he has a Roomba, and the Roomba's. I hear the Roomba working.
Johnny, what's your Roomba's name?
No, it's fun. That's funny.
Vinny Roomba?
I didn't know what that sound was.
Yeah.
And you know what I thought it was? I thought it was like water running or something happened. I was like, what is that sound?
When'd you get a Roomba, by the way?
I don't know. I think a day or so ago, Sarah got it. I don't know.
Cyber Monday, bro. What a robot.
Just showed up. Ben tried to stand on it.
I don't know.
Ben was doing a twist on it.
I don't know.
this morning.
I guess I have a room because it's in the hallway now. Maybe it's lost. Maybe it's someone else's room, but it just got lost.
It got docked in your house.
Roomba's very specific because I feel like it's a really great quality product if you get the right one. So I hope Sarah didn't cheap out on it.
I've researched because I'm like, I should get a Roomba.
We got a room. We just got the one thing we didn't get was like the self-cleaning one where like we could empty it out.
Oh, okay. But if it's still like a higher
we'll
quality
see. Yeah,
one,
I mean,
you're gonna be amazed at how.
But I don't see how it's gonna work, so I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
Sorry,
I don't either.
I don't believe it until I say when you empty that shit out after one run, you're gonna be like, what? We live like fucking dirt merchants.
I always read the reviews and they're always bad.
Yeah, I can tell you from firsthand experience, my place would be a disaster without that Johnny Roomba. Anyway, were you the only guy? Think about it.
I'll give you one. Not the only guy, but I have a weird stance on something that
Rich sniffs the butt of his jeans to see if they're clean.
I'm not the only one that sniffs clothes to see if they're clean.
He also sniffs his shoes after a good workout just to measure his workout.
I don't do that.
Sniff your shoes?
Maybe I should have pushed it harder. I don't sniff my shoes after
Sniff your
a workout.
shoes? That's weird.
He sniffs things.
Oh, I sniff my shoes, but not after a workout.
Why do you sniff your shoes?
You're the guy with the stinkiest shoes I've ever known in my life. So maybe you should sniff your
When's the last
shoes.
time you sniffed my shoes?
Remember that one time?
See, he's a shoe sniffer. He sniffs your
Man,
shoes.
Don't you remember?
You're a shoe sniffer. That's
When you're not
weird.
looking. That's why he doesn't take your shoes off so he can sniff them.
Rich is a shoe sniffer.
Don't you remember? He had shoes that we could smell across the room.
Rich is a sniffer
I don't
shoes.
sniff shoes. I sniff
sniff
my
shoes.
own. Who doesn't sniff their own shoes? You guys are acting like morons.
Sniff his shoes.
I don't sniff my shoes, bro.
No, you're
Come
a
on,
fucking weirdo.
sniff his shoes.
Fuck out of here.
You love doing it.
Rich
Just sniff,
does, though.
sniff his shoes.
You're acting like clowns that don't know what I'm like. You're acting dumb.
So like
You don't
Cheetos.
sniff your own shoes.
Sniff his shoes.
Who doesn't sniff their shoes? You fucking jerk offs.
You're the only guy.
Impossible. Impossible. You don't sniff your shoes.
Impossible.
How do you not sniff your shoes? You fucking weirdo.
Are you the only guy?
Rich is a shoe sniffer.
I am a shoe sniffer. You don't. Oh, by the way, I was so amazed. I was so amazed to.
Yeah, that's a step away from sniffing seats.
I was so amazed to.
Yeah, bro. I'd rather admit the mannequin being a mannequin guy.
Yeah, I'd rather be mannequin guy than
the
shoe sniffer.
I was so amazed. I was so amazed how a little bit of baking soda in shoes fucking totally make them smell like nothing again. I never knew that trick. I know people use bicarbonate. I know people use like baby powder or like different things.
But the main ingredient in like all these, if you ever really look at the ingredients of these things, like the main ingredient in those shoe things is probably sodium bicarbonate, which is just baking soda. Only it's just mixed with other fancy shit, just to make it cost more. Buy a 99-cent box of baking soda; it can do everything.
You guys are fucking weirdos and liars. You've never sniffed your shoes to think if they're dank or not. You're fucking out of your mind. Then you have smelly shoes. Then I bet.
Do you sniff Sarah's shoes?
He's a
I've
shoe
never
sniffer.
sniffed someone else's shoes. You weirdo.
Yeah. Ben, I think you need a new pair of shoes. Bring them over to Dad. Let me give him Daddy.
I mean, your kids. Yeah, I mean, you sniff your kids' clothes and stuff.
Daddy. Ben, you should be ashamed. New shoes. You need new shoes.
I mean, I honestly,
New shoes.
I really feel like you guys are trolling me right now.
No.
Like you're acting very odd.
Do you think I need new shoes? Can you jack, please?
I'm fascinated. Like you don't smell your kids' feet or like your. Me and Sarah smell our kids' feet every day. Like
That's what a test.
Stinky feet.
Rich's favorite song.
Gross.
By New Shoes.
New shoes. Rich. Shoe sniffer. Sniffs his shoes to see if he, had a good workout.
I agree. It's a weird hill for you guys to die on because he can't be talking about me.
No one's dying on this hill.
Who on earth doesn't smell their
Who's dying
shoes?
on the hill, John? You weirdo.
Who doesn't smell their own shoes?
Me.
It's lies.
Okay. Why the fuck would I do that?
I don't know what to tell you.
So give me your last one.
I don't even know what to say. I'm done.
You said you had one more.
No, I don't have any.
He's afraid to admit it now.
No, it's not something that I don't want to admit. I think I must have just forgot it.
He's
But
afraid to admit it.
who doesn't smell their shoes is a weird one. I'll be honest. There you go. I'm done with this conversation.
Do you smell your own shit?
Who doesn't smell their own shit? You don't smell what the bathroom smells like?
No. Do you like wipe yourself and then like put it up to your nose?
You're smelling your fucking toilet paper?
You smell your own shit, don't you?
Spots smell like the great stink of 1858.
Yeah. Oh my god.
My
No
God.
idea.
Like, oh my God.
I've never heard
That
something.
system's all out of whack.
It's a great conversation because I'll be honest. I feel like you guys are both on drugs right now.
Rich is the only guy that sees tigers and says, I need them on my shirt. Like, stat.
How have you?
Rich and Gunther Gable Williams.
I'm not the odd one here. You've never smelt a pair of sneakers or cleats or something. Be like, yo, these are dank. Gotta throw them out.
No, because my shit don't stink like that.
What do you mean your shit don't stink
And
like
I don't
that?
smell other people's
Spot
shoes.
had a pair
That's
of
for damn sure.
Spot had a pair of sneakers.
Even my kid, I understand like you do things for your kids that you would never do for
Are
anyone
you
else.
like referencing like one pair of shoes?
you
that
had a
I
pair of
that's-
sneakers in the two. Since
Let
we've
it
known
go-
you, though,
let it go, Rich.
But it was a. No, I'm
I know
not
you're
letting
hung
it
up
go.
on this. I know you're hung up on the smell of people's shoes, but this was probably like 15 years ago. You gotta let it go.
Yeah, but
Do you keep like Polaroids of my shoes behind
no.
a wall somewhere? Like, oh, these were Spot stinky shoes that I smelled.
But if this guy had a pair of shoes that were so offensive that guests and people are like, "What's that smell?" Maybe he should be smelling his shoes.
What were they though? Do you remember what they looked like?
He had like a pair of Jeepers. I remember they smelled so bad that like from standing up you
I
could
haven't
smell
worn
his feet.
Jeepers in 15, 16, 17 years.
But maybe you should have been
Weren't they
smelling
like
your
a track,
shoes.
like an old track shoe
Rich has like,
kind of?
Rich
They
has
were like an old like New Balance.
Rich has like
Yeah,
a
I can picture 'em, yeah.
Rich, do you have a loose floorboard that you hide a little gallery of like Polaroids of people's stinky feet?
He wish he could smell.
Oh, I remember when I
Yeah,
smelled these.
I smell
Wow.
it.
By the way, if you had
stench on
company
these
over, right?
shoes.
Yeah.
And we lined up all their shoes, and I made you blindfold. You think you could sniff it and figure out whose shoes they were?
That's an insanely weird. You're taking this into like a weird fetish place.
These are Spot shoes
So aggravated by
from
you.
2009.
By the way, Spot, your stinky shoes that Rich speaks of, I remember this.
I
That's not a
remember
made
them
up story.
too, but it's been
I feel
so
like they were
long ago.
I think they were oversized on you. Is that possible?
I mean,
You're like
I've never, even till this day, have a great shoe game, and I admit it.
I feel like
So
they
these
were
were
bigger
probably
on his
like
feet.
really like dumb looking shoes from 15 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like they were like oversized track sneakers. Anyway, are you the
Hey, Rich.
only guy?
I understand. People have kinks and fetishes. I've learned that now.
I think
this
it's
is your thing. You like
I think-
sniffing feet and shoes.
It's not really that funny, Spot. it's like I'm amazed that you guys. So you don't know if your shoes smell.
They don't, so I don't have to smell mine.
How do you know they don't smell?
Mine do. I just avoid them.
I don't. I'll get a new pair before they even get to that point.
I get like a new pair of shoes like every like 6 weeks. 2 months.
I'm fascinated by your inability.
Rich's dark passenger.
How do you? I think it's
sniffer.
that you guys don't smell laundry and stuff. That's maybe
do.
it's that you're not
Yeah,
a
no,
smelling
like-
type of guy.
Oh yeah,
No,
really.
I've-
The fresh towel, like.
No, I'm saying dirty or clean, like to tell. Like
Why would you sniff dirty ass laundry?
Ever since I got married and I have a laundry in my house, I don't worry about that anymore.
You have a what?
I have laundry in my house. So I don't have to worry about that at all.
My Uncle
Because
Joe
if I
was
have
weird.
when I get dirty clothes, they go in the wash.
Growing up, he'd probably deny this. My Uncle Joe was a weird. He's the only guy that talks about Kaboom and Booberry and things like that, right? He would pull his tighty whities up so high just to sniff them, see if tell me if they were clean or not.
Oh.
He'd be like this.
By request.
That's not weird.
By request. If you have old shoes that you're getting rid of, feel free to send them to this address and Rich will smell them live on the air.
There you go. And maybe he'll guess who it is.
Now, can you guess who it is?
She's like, these must be Rashawn's.
I smell a hint of barbecue, so it's got to be the South. All right, so it's from the South.
Are you the only guy?
It's just a weird. You guys are honestly.
A little bit of horse shit on this.
It's aggravating me because you make it sound like you don't smell dirty. All right, so like you don't smell dirty laundry
Just dirty shoes.
Dirty laundry? Why? No.
to see
Why
if
would
you
I do
can
that?
wear it again.
No, I'll do that. Not really.
Maybe you got some more.
Maybe
Maybe
once in a while, like-
you got dank on you then.
I smell it to smell some good shit. I'm never smelling any.
If I'm throwing on it, let's say, all right, let's say I go to Fox, right?
I have
think like that.
Stop. Let me just finish this. If I go to, let's say, Fox in the afternoon, and I throw on like a Henley, that's what, 2:00. I get home here, dinner time. I change into like a t-shirt and sweats for bedtime. I'll smell that Henley to be like, should I throw this in the washer? Or is it like that doesn't even smell it? I wore it for like 3 hours. You don't give it a little sniff. Like, what if someone was eating around me? Sometimes I'll smell shit. It's like, oh,
I know in my head like how many wears I get before I have to throw it away.
I have so many clothes
Yeah.
now that I
you
just-
wash everything after one wear.
No, like I know that
Yeah.
I'll get like a day and a half or 2 days out of something
You wear
before I throw it in the laundry.
everything
Like if I
one time.
Socks
If-
and
yeah,
undergarments.
socks and underwear,
like-
yes, but other things you can't. You don't wear jeans one time and wash them. You don't wear
I'll
if
snip
you wear
them.
a hoodie and you're out and
I'll just
about.
wash 'em.
If you're,
jeans you should never really wash.
if you're
they say.
out and about
you just air
now,
air them out.
like for instance, if you and I met at, I'll give you one. If we met at Tequila, which I know is a restaurant that smells because it's got the kitchen's like the open exposure. So I'll know that if I go to Tequila, whatever I'm wearing will smell like a restaurant. So even if I wore a shirt for 2 hours and I met you at a Mexican restaurant, yeah, I gotta wash it. It smells like a kitchen.
But you have so many clothes.
How do you not know that?
Why would you go out to dinner one night and wear that same shirt the next day?
Why wouldn't I?
Why would you? Just that shirt would just come off and you would wear something new the next day. You have so many clothes. I have so many clothes.
Yeah, but you don't have kids, so the laundry kids produce is astronomical.
What is having kids
the laundry that kids
with my clothing?
No, I'm saying the laundry that kids produce.
That's such a fucking cop out.
No, it's not. Kids have two changes of clothes a day, laundry wise.
Okay.
So I'm saying you try to minimize your laundry as an adult with kids, because there's laundry baskets nonstop.
What are you poor?
I agree with Stu there. I'm not disagreeing if with Rich on that. I try to do as minimal laundry as possible. I try to get as many wears out of something before I have to wash it because I'm trying to keep my shit nice
I feel like
and
you guys,
new.
I feel like you guys are
I'm
all on
with you on
drugs. I
that.
feel like everyone in this conversation is on drugs but me. I'm making logical points. I'll order them. Logical point number one. If you got an old pair of, as the rest of the country calls it, tennis shoes.
I think you're the only guy
Trainers?
talking about edibles on Fox Sports Radio.
Well, I do that on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
I think you're the only guy.
I do that on purpose. I try to push it with that.
Yeah, I could tell. I think
because-
you're the only guy. I don't think Dan Patrick's talking about it. I was so high on a plane the other day.
I did that on purpose to differentiate myself that I'm not some sports nerd. I try to push the envelope with sexual and drug stuff. Whoa. So do you want to be the boring show that just fits in?
I think I've made it clear that I don't. But I think you're the only
So
guy.
you should say, Rich, good move. So
I mean, I think there's lots of ways to differentiate yourself.
things I've said. Things I've said that make
Good at what you
complete
do.
sense.
Okay.
Dirty old pair of tennis shoes or sneakers, giving them a sniff to be like, do I need to wash these or throw them out? Logical. Hey, I wore a shirt for 2 hours when I went out to a meeting. Do I need to wash it or can I put it back on the hanger? Oh, we went to a hibachi place. Can't wear this again. Hamper.
Oh,
These are like common assessments.
I'm not saying I don't like hoodies, right? Like
Hey.
I'll sniff a hoodie because hoodies are like jackets. And
I went to my friend's house and you know what we did? We sat in their backyard by their fire pit.
Oh, I love that smell,
can't
though.
wear this again. It smells like a fucking fire pit.
Yeah, I love that smell.
Yeah, but
That's different than smelling a shoe.
But here's the thing:
You
jeans
guys act like Ritardo Montalban.
jeans. Really, you should minimize the wash of a jean because denim doesn't respond well to multiple washings. T-shirts, you have so many. Tiger shirts alone,
I always
those
wash
can
t-shirts.
just be washed after one wear.
I wash t-shirts. But
Like there are times where I'll wear something in the morning, come home, change to go out at night, and both those shirts go in the wash right away.
you're the greatest guy.
And
Alejandro.
shoes? Who's smelling shoes?
Right, Rich is the only guy.
Sometimes I'll change my socks twice in a day.
We'll get off Rich. I got one funny Rich observation. We'll move on, okay? Think about these habits and these things you eat.
I agree with Rashawn. If the shirt touched your armpit, you have to assess the shirt.
Maybe you just don't sweat.
I'm not a big
stink.
sweater, Spot. You're the guy that I'm not. This is not an insult. You're the guy that has like back sweat, underarm sweat. Like
I
there are
am
times
a
where you
sweaty
lift
guy.
up your arms, and I'll see. You'll never catch this guy with pit
I
stains.
drink so much coffee, it stimulates my my sweat glands.
I do feel like
it's
you're.
true.
I do feel like you guys are gaslighting me like
like
I'm a
I'm
contestant.
hot.
I'm like I'm on The Bachelor.
Only the shoe thing.
I'm not hot.
I'm here to say only the shoe thing I thought was weird.
Socks and underwear, yes. Every time you're going to wash them. Those are one-day items. Jeans, a couple wears. Sweatshirts could get a second wear. A hoodie, a Henley could get a second wear. If Covino and I met for a cup of coffee with a client or our agent, and I wore a shirt for 2 hours,
Yeah, I'm not going to wash that.
or like when we would work on ESPN, we would wear stuff on set. I would wear that. I would never wash that stuff because we wore it for an hour, then we'd change back into our other stuff, and we'd have our closet at ESPN. There's stuff I wore like 5 times without washing because we wore it for a half hour on a set.
By the way, you unknowingly used the Merriam-Webster word of the year for 2022. Did you know that?
What was that?
Gaslighting.
Oh, there you go.
Number one used word in 2022. Gaslighting.
You know what, Rashawn? This guy's on point. I love Rashawn.
So why don't you marry him?
He go, and I'm not changing the argument, dipshits. I think it's normal to sniff your shoes or any article of clothing, or your kid's feet, or your kid's
don't
hair,
know.
or your kid. You could sniff your kid.
Sniffing your kid is a
Like
I think if you have to sniff your kid's feet to see if they stink, you should have probably given him a bath a day ago.
No, kids typically don't bathe every single day. But there are days where you have to bathe your kid every day because
Yeah,
they'll
but
come
if you
home.
have to sniff their
No,
feet,
I'm
that's
saying,
probably the great indicator that it's
oh
probably
no,
bath
but
time.
Sarah and I like when our kids' feet smell bad. Like, because they're not gross yet. They'll get to a point where it's like, all right, now you're old enough where it's gross. But if Ben stinks like a little stinky boy, we think it's cute. Like, we're like, oh, he smells. It's not gonna, that's not a permanent, like, we like that. But like, a lot of people will smell their kid's feet or their head and be like, oh, they're stinky. You're gonna need a bath. It's not offensive when it's your kid and they're little. Your shirt that Covino's wearing, if you're on tier 2, Covino's wearing like a very nice
Buck Mason.
like a very nice.
Uncle Buck Mason.
I wouldn't call it a sweatshirt, but it's not a Henley because it doesn't have buttons.
waffle.
It's a,
It's a waffly type
tee.
of like long sleeve.
Not really. Actually, it's not, but it feels like that.
Yeah, but that shirt to me is
It's
a
got a-
two-time. It's a two-time wearer, unless
It's got a what?
you go out to dinner with Jordan and all of a sudden it's like you got like sauce on it or it smells from you like being at a restaurant or something like that. I think that shirt is not a one-timer. Maybe you guys, I don't know.
That's a one-timer for me.
Yeah. So, like to say, maybe I just like to smell things.
Yes. This guy. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I hope you had a great night. I hope you have a nice Tuesday.
Some people don't bathe their kids enough, I think. What's the right time to bathe the kid? When I was a kid, I feel like I took a bath a couple days a week when I was a kid. I was not an everyday.
As long as I had Mr. Bubble, bro, I was good. Let's go. I'll do that every night. Fuck yeah, dude. My mom would make that bath for me.
How
I used to
often
have,
did
I used
how
to have this
often
thing she bought from Avon? I'll never forget it. My mom had this thing she bought from Avon for me. It was like a spongy octopus guy. He had all these octopus hands. He would throw rings on them. I sit there in the fucking bathtub like, oh.
how often
So
Now,
as a kid, I'll take as many baths you want to give me.
I mean, as a grown man, you'll shower every day. But as a little kid, how often did you bathe?
I don't know. Until my pajamas smelled like pee.
Mom! Yeah.
Kids,
I think
I trust my sister. She says kids every other day.
kids every other day, that's a Dawn's strategy.
Maybe you get 2 days out of it.
I'd say every other day seems fair. Every other night, Andrew's saying. Yeah, when your kid's like 1 or 2, you're not supposed to bathe them every day. It's bad for their little skin.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say like 4 days a week is a good time for. Honestly, when your kids play a lot and they're active, like Ben comes home from preschool, and I'm like, God, you're a stinky little boy. What are you doing, rolling around the dirt? Like little boys are fucking gross.
Once they start getting musty, that's when Rashawn. All right, well,
So,
thank
there
you
you go.
guys. Yeah.
Fucking wash your feet. Wash your sneakers.
Sniff your shoes, man. Sniff your shoes. And by the way, just because we got on Rich, can I tell you something you said this morning that made me laugh under my breath?
Please do.
He said he sounded
Ben's toes smell like fucking Frito Lays.
I bet
You
they
could
do,
smell
man.
those bad boys.
Yeah, as a parent, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Well, there is no denying that you put different voices on. We all do it for the people you talk to, right? Like if you're talking to your kid, hey, guy. Right? I mean, even if I saw a little Ben, hey, little guy. Hey, Dino boy. What's up, Dino boy? You put a different voice on.
Yeah.
You're talking to a puppy, right? Oh,
Theo Von Theo.
Theo Von Hardcock. Get over here, you little guy. You little fluffy guy. He just uses a different voice, right? So when you talk to your significant other, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, you're going to put a different voice on. Hey, babe. I heard Rich this morning sounding about as gay, and I'm using the old school sense of the word, as possible.
I must have sounded pretty gay. I don't even know what I said.
I wrote it down.
Oh, was it when
I
I
wrote that 'cause
said?
it made me laugh.
Was it when I said I love dudes' bulges? Was that the gayest thing?
No, but
Oh.
I think it stood out because you've said this before, and I called you out on it. That's why I think it stood out even more. Because I feel like I'm having deja vu.
I can't wait to know what this is because it can be many things.
First of all, the very start of it made me go. He went, ooh. All the way. I was like,
I went ooh.
yeah, and he went, ooh, and I went, shoo. I was like, what was he? Ooh. Swear to God, he did. And I even underlined the ooh, just so I know remember how he went, ooh. Ooh. Get the snickerdoodle one. get the snickerdoodle one.
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, what was it?
Ooh.
What was it? What was it? I was dying.
It's
to
not
know.
good. It's my coffee creamer.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, Sarah said,
Coffee creamer?
Sarah said, do you want, she goes, do you want the typical, Spot turned me on to the silk almond
Oh,
milk.
do they have a snickerdoodle one?
No, she got one of the one I usually get, which is the silk French vanilla almond one. But she goes, on sale, they got all the holiday ones.
I just think you like
She
the word
goes,
doodle so much that you couldn't resist it.
She goes, I go, David, I don't like chocolatey coffee. So she's like, there's a peppermint chocolate. I'm like, no.
Nah,
She
no
goes, what
peppermint.
else? She goes,
So you're going to lie to me and say you don't like the word doodle?
I fucking love the word doodle.
I know you
I
do.
love to doodle. I love cheese doodles. I love snickerdoodles. I love doodle. I love doodly doos.
like cheese doodles.
I fucking love doodles.
I love doodles.
Dipsy doodle.
I'm a doodle boy.
But I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's really why you made the choice.
It's
Rich loves dipsy doodles.
I'm gonna say negative on this.
Really? No
Yeah.
bueno? Nah, I'm good.
No.
It's probably like a cheap cinnamon taste.
It's,
And I know Cinnamon Wilson.
It's a cheap vanilla cinnamony. It honestly it doesn't taste good.
Okay.
So-
So are you the only guy?
Snickerdoodle.
We talked all sorts of other stuff.
Did you low palm it into your coffee?
I don't
Low
know
palm.
if you want to get to something right now. Otherwise, I got stuff.
Who got stuff?
Meaning, like, I don't know if there's something that's topical and relevant now.
All right, hold on. Dots, Pepsin, and toothpaste. I got something about you I want to get to in a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Oh. What does he like to sniff?
New things.
I'll eat your sushi for you.
Oh, you
New
like
things.
New car smells?
I smell everything.
You know my brother
That's
smells?
new, like new stuff.
No, my brother smells that I always thought. I think I've mentioned this before. My brother, and I've heard
Birds.
it's not weird. I heard it's not weird.
Birds.
So I guess I can't make fun of my brother that much. But my brother, if he got concert tickets or ball game tickets, he'd smell the tickets.
Just to take it in. He was so happy about it.
No, but like
I
freshly
get that. Especially new things. Freshly cut,
like if, let's say
printed, a book.
I remember my parents at one point they bought like a not a season ticket but like a 10-15 game Mets ticket package in the 90s. And when the tickets came to the house, like the old school printed out stacks of tickets, I remember my brother being like, like smelling the tickets. And like I've heard other people go, oh yeah, smelling tickets. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
smelling tickets?
My Uncle Joe sniffed everything. You know, but I mean, with new things, I could totally see the new car smell, like you said. I mean, who doesn't love that
Your
stuff?
mom agrees with me. You got it. Sniffing your kids' heads, like you're smelling your child's head for some reason, even if they got like dirty head that needs some shampooing.
The new baby smell is a very special
Oh,
smell.
I love new baby smell.
Yeah, it goes away. You're like, I don't like him
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know if I like him anymore. But go ahead.
Know what Emmy does that's cute now? I think it's funny. She brushes her teeth and then uses her bubblegum mouthwash. So she's like, spits it out. And she goes, smell my breath. And I do. And I go, she goes
to the expert.
She goes,
guy loves smelling things.
She goes, smells good, right? And I go, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. It smells really good. Smells good, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you like smelling people's like mouths for their breath? Do you like, is that a thing?
I'm
Is
big
that-
on smells. Sarah will tell you I'm big
So
on
when you-
smells. I'm like I'm very big on smells, like
That's your
breath, hygiene, clothing, candle smells, kitchen. So maybe I'm more what would be the word for not
thing. Odiferous.
I was gonna say something like that. I probably would have fucked it up. Oh, I'm very odiferous. Who knows? Hey, you know, discovery today. Thank you. After all these years, you realized I'm a weird guy with smells.
I knew that. That's why I said it.
I'm hypersensitive to like smells and sounds and
Fresh paint. I love the smell of that.
sights.
I don't. You know what? Bad smell. I don't mind.
My
The
senses.
circus. I love the smell of a fucking shit circus. I love the smell of gasoline. People think that's offensive. I like the smell
Oh,
of
I
like a
love the
gas.
smell
The
of
gas smell of a
gasoline.
gas station. I like
Yeah,
that
I love
smell.
the
Like
smell of
I like the
gasoline.
smell of like a body shop.
Yeah, I like that smell.
Like oil and gas
oil
and
and-
like reminds me of my grandfather.
At
I
a
think.
hardware store.
Like
Hardware
cigarettes.
store. Oh, I feel like a
Bells
man.
ring and the
Oh,
smell
the
hits you.
wood, the wood area at Home Depot.
Oh, yeah. You should make candles of that spot. Candles of the hardware store. The wood smell at Home Depot. Yeah.
I'm big on smells. Is our new holiday T-shirt.
Big on
Big on smells.
Big on smells. Doodles.
Doodle boy.
Doodle boy.
How about a shirt? I'm a doodle type of guy.
I'm a doodle type of guy. Oh my God.
By the way, speaking of shirts, we have some available till Wednesday. Code CNRCM. CNR
yeah.
Cyber Monday sale.
15.
Hey, some of these shirts, and honestly,
It's been extended.
you know what I want? I think I might order myself the coasters.
Oh.
We have obviously
we have more than just
We have great
shirts.
space ones.
we have shirts, hoodies, tank tops, baby onesies. We have coffee mugs, pint glasses, like a coffee to go, like a Yeti type thing.
My parents got that Christmas ornament. We still got those?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, anyway,
Still
thank
up
you
there?
guys.
I know we changed the
CNR
source and stuff.
CM15. CNR CM15 for 15% off, no minimum purchase.
Okay.
Get
Moving
into
on.
your stuff because, it's getting late early.
I'm sorry. World Cup is on a little bit, so in an hour are we going to cheer them on?
Yeah.
We believe that we can win. We need to beat Iran, not Iran. Did you see that one reporter getting all snippy? I would have told him to eat my ass.
I didn't
I would
see
have told
it,
him
but
to
it's
smell
true.
my ass. There was
Don't you assert dominance by smelling their ass?
it was Iranian reporter who was like, if you respect our country and land or somethings, why do you mispronounce our country? And the U.S. soccer player's like I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? He said Iran instead of Iran. So I don't know. I hope we fucking beat the shit out of Iran today. To be honest, fuck them. Let's go USA all day. I gotta
pretty
change my
aggressive
shirt.
about it.
I gotta check. Well, you know how they treat their people there? Not good.
Fuck them then, I guess.
Fuck them.
Borders are just
Fuck them. They treat their people like shit.
What do
Fuck
borders,
them.
Borders mean nothing.
The only cool thing to come out of Iran is the Iron Sheik.
My kid's Iranian.
Your ex-wife left there because of her mom left there because it was
I like their
such
food.
They left there because it was terrible.
You mean Iranian?
Come on.
Iranian.
Oh, the food is pretty good.
Iranian.
There's some decent food.
Like, what do they got?
I mean, I'm not rooting for them. I hope they win. I hope the USA wins. Obviously.
Yeah, why
What's
would
typical Iranian food?
Rice and chicken, man.
That's
As
it.
traditional as it gets.
Yeah. Does everyone in Iran wear those boots like the Iron Sheik with the curl
Iran.
on the toe?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, everyone.
Iran.
The only bummer is that some of those Iranian players are fearing for their lives to show you the type of shithole fucking people that are running that place. Their government, not the people, their government. There's people saying like if they lose, like some of these guys will be fucking murdered. That's a lot of pressure.
That's really it. You hit the nail on the head there. I don't even think you meant to. Not the people. It's always been the government.
Mm-hmm. Sort of a bummer to think like, yeah, I'm on this proud stage, but hey, if I don't do well, they might kill me. That's wild. So hey, and the camel clutch was a great wrestling move that came out of Iran. So besides that, they have more to lose than we have to win, I think.
I have nothing to lose. On DVD, starring Tim Robbins and
Martin
Lawrence.
All right. So, World Cup, let's root them on.
Let's go USA.
There was a misleading headline that, of course, got me to click on it, but I realized it's nothing really crazy. It said that there's zombie viruses that might be exposed. I'm like, what the fuck is a zombie virus? They don't know what a zombie virus is, but as the world continues to get warmer, obviously there's parts of the world where ice is melting, and things are being exposed for the first time in thousands of years that have been essentially frozen in time via ice.
Can't wait till the woolly mammoths come back.
And they're saying like there's some like bacterial stuff that could be exposed and finally melts away. And what if we as a people react weird to it and it causes some weird outbreak?
It's possible.
Like they're saying there's things that are frozen in time that
so
are
weird.
best frozen in time.
I don't know why this popped in my head on the way to work today.
Does that make any sense?
But I was thinking of the movie War of the Worlds, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know the movie War of the Worlds.
Is that Brad Pitt?
Tom Cruise. And
I'm sorry. I was thinking of World War Z.
World War Z. Not to give a spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie, but it's the aliens come and they have those big things and they it's based on the book and they destroy everything and they suck up the humans and they use their blood to create stuff. It's creepy. But what kills the aliens is the tiniest little microorganisms, because us as a people have evolved over millions of years to be able to adapt and defend these microorganisms, and the aliens have not. So if these
what if something is unfrozen,
right.
Covino,
so
and it's
microorganisms,
hey, it's been frozen in time for tens of maybe a
our
million
bodies
years.
might not have evolved because these microorganisms were frozen millions of years ago. And now that they're unfreezing, we might not be able to defend these microorganisms or know what they will do to us as humans.
Listen, look at how the world freaked out.
Worlds.
Look at how the world freaked out for COVID, and it killed like less than 1%, like a minuscule amount of people it killed. Imagine if there was a virus that killed like 25% of people. The world shut down and freaked out over a virus that killed less than 1% of people. Imagine if, like Sarah said that, she goes, what if something came about in our lifetime? God forbid.
It's going to.
Spot.
Statistically speaking.
No, but I'm saying COVID, like the tiniest percentage. Imagine.
Still killed.
Imagine it was what?
And it killed a lot of people.
COVID
yes.
was a big deal, though.
But percentage-wise, Covino, we're talking.
No, I'm saying
like
the
0.001. But think of how many people, like 0.001% of people died from COVID, probably. Imagine if it was like 9% even. Like anything. Like how insane would that be? So they're saying zombie viruses might be getting closer and closer to being unlocked in the ice. Then I saw a clip I sent Spot. Mia Khalifa, former adult star. That
I like where this is going.
I never was into her. Wait,
barf.
is she from Iran?
Yeah, it goes with your theory. I think she is.
Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa.
I don't know. Maybe like she's something else.
Wait a second.
Mia Khalifa, former adult star. She's Lebanese.
Oh, then no.
Adult film star. One of the most viewed performers of all time, but only was in the adult industry for like a minute. Imagine.
All the titties.
I want you to listen to what she said, and I feel like this is
It's easy. If
such
you
a
try.
bullshit statement, but like, you know, I hate to say this, you know when certain women get together and their fucking wrong ideas just confirm each other? You could say that about us. There are times where Covino and
I mean, just because the source is whack doesn't mean she's not making a point. But a part of me does say, yeah, I'm going to take opinions from you. Full guy to hear.
I disagree. I don't think her opinion's any less than yours because she was an adult film star.
Yeah.
I think I'm just saying.
Well,
I think
what
when
she's talking about.
No, but I think when women are, and the same could go, like I said, for us. When two people that have the same opinion on something keep going back and forth on it, and it's not automatically right, it makes me mad.
It's such a broad statement, though. It's like, well, what is she talking about? Because in this clip, she talks about older men dating younger women, right? And what it says about them. This completely applies to me, but everything she says does not apply to me. It's the exact opposite for me. But if she's talking about men who are significantly older or like almost predatory,
what's significant then?
Like if it's like almost like they're 18, 19-year-old girls. You know what I mean? Like
that's creepy.
If they're teenage girls, I don't know what she's talking about.
What do you think would be? What do you?
Because, like I said, the things she says, like the exact opposite apply to me.
I think she's talking about someone like you.
Yeah, but
and I think it's incorrect.
How old was Jordan when you started dating her?
25.
And you were how old?
41.
That's fine.
40?
Because I mean, I know it's
41.
Half your age plus 7. Let's.
Yeah,
but she, she was a more mature 20-something. Dating being 40, like if I in my new world were to say like, oh, I want to date an 18-year-old, that's super creepy.
Because so that's why I don't know what she's talking about.
Just because it's quote unquote legal does not mean that it's quote unquote appropriate.
I mean, all right. So Jordan was 25 when you were 41. That's significant, but I never looked at it as like it
really comes.
Power move or play. Just watch this clip and then analyze Spot.
It really comes down to the age of the youngest person. So if the girl is, if you could be 60 and date a 25, 30-year-old, that's okay.
Talk about yesterday. Shawn Mendes is dating a 50-year-old woman.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Kristen. She's an older woman. She's had some younger men. All right.
Is she banging younger dudes?
She has. Mostly everyone is like 10 years younger than her.
What does she like about them? Their stamina?
No, it's not even that. She likes, it's more of
does she like being in control?
No. I think she likes the validation of these younger people find an older woman attractive.
Yeah, I wonder, I know what your validation is based on. What is her validation based on? That?
Yeah, that. And she also likes the intellectual connection with people.
No, but like, okay. Let's hear Mia Khalifa.
Who goes after a girl significantly younger than them is severely lacking in their life. And I mean that confidence wise. I mean, like, they are falling short in so many places that is the only place they can turn to feel like they have something on the scale of power.
And ultimately it's predatory. There's just no way to kind of, because you're manipulating someone who is not aware of what they're giving you. Yeah. And it's unfair.
It's too broad of a comment.
It's too broad of a comment, but you're right. There needs to be a definition
Are you talking
of
about a
what's
fucking 60-year-old guy with an 18-year-old? A 55-year-old with a 20-year-old? Like, yeah, and then I get it. I get what she's saying. Because I'm older than my girlfriend, this shit does not apply to me, not even in the slightest.
Can I tell you something that I've noticed?
Please do.
Something that I've noticed, and this really has actually nothing to do with me and my dating life, but something I've noticed, and I see this a lot on social media from like these younger girls who think they're dating coaches. People have had one, maybe two bad experiences in their lives, and they apply their personal bad experience to everybody else's relationship. So Mia Khalifa and Emily Ratajkowski probably had a couple creepy old men approach them or want to date them, or were in relationships with older men and treated them and used that as a place of power. So now they assume that every older man that wants to date someone younger is doing that same thing.
Yeah, and she's talking predatory too, though. Yeah. So like, how young are we talking about?
And it's unfair because one bad experience in your life, you apply that to everybody. It's not how everyone is.
No, it's not.
You're almost now giving people bad information and advice from a place of bias.
It's not predatory it's not predatory in like the creepy way you're thinking. But there is something, the only thing I'll back up what they're saying is, if you're someone, now this goes against something you've said over the years that I used to make fun of you for, Spot. Remember how you would say, go to the barrio and find like the fucking hottest broke girl?
That was a joke.
Was it?
It was.
Totally a joke?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would have anything in common with a barrio princess.
But you guys would say that all the time, and I would be like, yeah, but the dynamic is wrong. And you guys argue me, but now you're telling me all these years later it's a joke.
I'm not into sugaring.
But I'm just into what?
Sugaring. Being a sugar daddy.
Oh.
Which would what you would have to do with a barrio princess.
But what I'm saying is,
are you into Bisco sugar cookies?
I'm into Bisco sugar cookies.
You're the only one.
Sugar wafers.
Sugar wafers.
But Covino, like if you date someone significantly younger and you're super successful, there is a power dynamic that is the advantage to the one person.
There could be.
Yeah.
There is not. Remember you're talking to a guy who's significantly older than his girlfriend. There is no fucking power dynamic at all. Like zilch.
There's always a power dynamic in a relationship.
There's none.
It could be an equal power dynamic.
Not coming from me. I can tell you that.
So you're saying Jordan's in charge?
She's in charge a lot. I don't mind her being in charge. I'm not like some sort of henpecked, yes, dear kind of guy. But I wouldn't say I'm in fucking charge or I'm dominant over her in any way because I'm older or because I'm, in a career that I've been in for a long time. That's definitely not the case.
It really just does come down to...
And I think she would agree, like there's zilch of that going on in my relationship.
Steve, brown don't frown. You're a very young looking man, especially 5 years ago when you started dating Jordan.
Yeah, man. It's been a tough 5 years.
If you present as younger, if you have a younger mindset and, dating a younger person who is attractive and vibes with you works, then so be it. It's like being on the dating apps, right?
Yeah.
There are 25-year-olds that look 20. And there are 25-year-olds that look 30. There are 40-year-olds that look 30, and there are 40-year-olds that look 60. It really comes down to a case-by-case basis. And then once you get past looks, because let's be honest, looks is the first line of defense. Once you get past that, then you have to see if you sync and vibe with someone. And that's the next layer. Like, I'm sure you synced and vibed with Jordan. It's like the looks were there. Once you got past that, you had to have a relationship. So it wasn't just completely superficial.
I mean, this has nothing to do with me.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying like
the
this
age
doesn't
dynamic.
even apply
this has
to me.
nothing
Like,
to do with
even
you.
a little bit.
But no, I'm saying like but there are there men out there that are older
That's why I
that
said
just
it's
want
broad. Yes.
arm candy and like throw money at it just so they can be around and like here's money, here's things, suck my dick. Yes.
I saw a clip, Covino, on TikTok. And it was some like douchey guy that we probably would have loved 15 years ago. He's like some smooth dude that was at a round table with all these like hot
Neil Strauss.
He was all these hot girls at a round table.
Andrew Tate. And he talks about.
Was it Andrew Tate?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And he's like, would you rather a sugar daddy or like a good husband man that makes like it was like $80,000 or $90,000 a year? That clip?
Go ahead, continue.
It might be Andrew Tate. I know Covino brings him up, but I don't. It might be. He asked a round table of like beautiful women that are like in their 20s. What would you rather? A sugar daddy that just paid for your stuff that you didn't really care about, or
Is this where he argues with her about you've made a preconceived notion about me, you don't even know me?
no, so it must be different.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this clip. It's the same one.
But it's like most women are like, yeah, I would choose the sugar daddy. So like women are not innocent in this dynamic also. Where there's
women are going after older guys.
So I'm saying that's why this clip rubbed me the wrong way. Because there are predatory weirdo guys that are like 60 going after like girls half their age.
I mean, yeah, that's.
But there's also women that are in their 20s that are like, you know what, I'm going to date a 40-something-year-old guy that'll just pay for my shit. And I want a sugar daddy. I don't really want a relationship like that. So it goes both ways. Like for every older guy that's like, yeah, I want a hot younger girl. There's a hot younger girl that's like, you know what I want? I want like an older guy to pay for all my shit. Deal?
I think I'd love to see the rest of it. I really can't comment on it. Are they talking about someone, again, in their 50s dating a girl that's barely 20? Okay, then I'll agree with them. Otherwise, I'd say that there's a lot of things that Mia Khalifa has done that shows that she lacks a lot. I'd have to see what she said. I really can't comment on it. It's a broad comment because I kind of agree, but then I don't because it doesn't apply to me.
And I understand.
Like to me, there's zero power struggle in my relationship.
Beautiful women, like I'm sure if we talk to all our women, beautiful women are preyed upon, unfortunately. So they do have this kind of negative experience with men. And we see it as like a couple of, 40-something-year-old men who have always been kind to women, always been nice. But there are creeps out there. There are guys walking by mannequins doing a little low palm. There are creeps out there that are preying on these women. And unfortunately, in these circles and worlds that these women are in, like Mia Khalifa and Emily Ratajkowski, there's much more pervs and much more creeps.
Yeah, those two just happen to probably bump into more pervs than the average person.
But here's the thing. I doubt, like, if I went up to Emily Ratajkowski, it was like, hey, I'm a really nice guy. Let's hang out. She wouldn't want that. So it's like,
look at to just show the two sides of the story.
That being said, she's with Pete Davidson.
Look at how many
see him at the game.
Look at how many women. David hit us up with this. You ever see NFL draft night? How many women hang out in the lobby?
Exactly.
You ever see women that try to become the sugar babies of like rich dudes? So it's a two-sided street, and both are pretty gross. Yes, the old guy that only wants to, have a power over a hot younger girl. There's plenty of younger women that, like, sadly, like, I want an old guy, and I just want him to take care of all my shit. So aren't those people sort of meant for each other in a weird way?
Yeah, they're both weird in that case. Yeah.
All right, there you go. I just figured I'd bring that up.
I just don't think it always applies. I think you gotta get the full comment.
It gives people like us a bad name, or people like me. And you.
What about why you?
Well, because think about it, Rich. Let's say you were single right now. You're
Chris
40.
And you are the same age.
You're 43. Hold
no,
on.
I'm saying now.
How old do you think the girl is that you think you would end up with if you were dating right now?
Probably 30 something.
She could be or late 20s too.
Late 20s.
You wouldn't know, right? Are you in it because you have some sort of control over her? Is it because you're lacking something, or because you were attracted to her and she's attracted to you because you're a successful, young-looking, handsome guy, but who's a little older?
No,
I mean, there could be something very normal about
John
that.
brings up a good point to wrap this up.
Well,
a porn star and a famous model probably encounter creepy old dudes way more than the average guy. So
Like I told you, I went on a date with a 27-year-old, right? I think she got a little turned off because, I was very communicative, but I feel like her last relationship was with a very like dominant, controlling person, and I'm the exact opposite of that. But I think she got a little nervous that like she wanted something way more passive, I guess. I don't know.
Was there context in the description of that clip? Because that would make a lot of sense.
No, it just says the one and only Mia Khalifa is on the podcast. We talk sex work, shame, body image, witchcraft, and control. That's it.
Control.
Again,
Control.
when they bring predatory into that conversation, that makes me think that they're talking about an older guy with a significantly younger woman, like guy in his 40s, 50s with a girl like barely out of her teens. Yeah, that shit is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So I agree with them.
Agreed.
But if they're talking about like fucking some dude, a woman who's 25 and a dude who's, in his 40s, I don't think it's as bad. It just depends what it is.
All right.
I mean, they're getting torn apart in the comments.
I bet. I'm sure.
Well, because the source does matter. When you put yourself out there as a porn star, you are going to get people to fucking come at you in a creepy way. And that doesn't make it okay, but remember what you were putting out there. You can't discredit that.
This is...
the source does matter, even though Rich says it doesn't. It does.
This is a good comment. This person does say that like it also is negative. It's a negative description of how younger women are. There are younger women that do have their shit together and that are mature enough to understand themselves entering into a relationship with an older man. Maybe they're attracted to older men. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but you brought up yesterday, Covino, with the Shawn Mendes with the older woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to imagine it's anything. When you see relationships that are very significantly based on an age difference, it's hard to think that
she's more than double his age.
It's hard to think that they're ever truly real, right? Because it's like...
We're talking, if you missed yesterday's show, Shawn Mendes is 24. His chiropractor's 50.
I mean...
He's dating her.
The reality is you're never going to start a family with that person. You're never going to get married to that person, likely. So it's like...
Date a chiropractor.
To me, it's... I don't know. It's all for fun. Anyway, anytime there's someone dating someone significantly different in age, there's a good chance it's it's just for fun. And there's a mutual understanding. Like, hey, you're hot. This person's got money. Have at it. Let's move on. Okay. I brought up the chiropractor. And then I know you got stuff you want to get to. Are you a chiropractor type of guy?
I get temporary relief. I wouldn't say. I've had my experience. I belong to several chiropractic clubs, but I don't think it works for me. I don't know. Some of my good buds are chiropractors, so I'm not going to say it doesn't work.
One of your
temporary relief.
Like one of your best buddies, right? One of your college best buds, right?
Never fixed my issue, that's for sure.
I bought a Black Friday value pack yesterday at The Joint. You ever have you been to The Joint?
Yeah. I got my joint membership in my bag.
Now, I always wonder, is there like people that have never been to the chiropractor? Like I feel great after I leave. And I feel really good today because yesterday I was feeling all like my neck and my lower back. I was just feeling a little out of sorts. And I feel like
your neck, your back.
Like Spot, you were saying how you're still so sore and you've never been to the chiropractor.
It's not that I'm sore. I pulled my back out again. It's like I was starting to feel better again. And then I starting to clean up shit at the storage compound this weekend. I wasn't lifting anything heavy.
What did I tell you? What did we tell you? Didn't we say that? He's going to hurt his back lifting something at his brother's house?
I wasn't moving furniture. I was just going through shit. And all of a sudden, my back started to seize up. And I was out of commission for 2 days. And still,
is that how you hurt your back last time?
I hurt my back last time.
No. Like last time you were there? Like you were helping your brother with his shit?
I think so.
I feel like that was
when I helped him move in like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was out of commission for like I couldn't stay. That's why I had to go to the emergency room. Last January, it's like I have degeneration in my lumbar spine. So I guess any sort of aggravation now is really just going to make it get inflamed.
I was waiting for this. Gabe hit us up because I was waiting for someone because there are people, like he said, chiropractors are modern day snake oil. There are some people that think chiropractors,
like I said, it's temporary relief.
Like it's like all nonsense. I remember, like, I feel like my family had that stance because, like, someone in our family, like a cousin or someone, was like, "Oh, they're going to be a chiropractor," and I remember my family's stance was like, "Oh, that's like fake, like it's not good for you. It's fake, and don't believe a chiropractor."
I've been to a chiropractor in my youth because I like tweak. I used
to go a lot.
I tweaked my back in my youth, and my mom worked at a chiropractic office, so she just got me in there. It was like,
do you like when they crack your neck at the end, or no?
It.
Or do you hate it?
No, I don't like it. I would ask them not to do that.
I just don't know.
You'd ask them not to do that. Isn't that like the best part?
Not when I'm going
as far as relief
for an actual.
I'll do it to you.
Specific.
I just don't know.
Pain. Like my pain wouldn't be there. So I was like, leave my fucking neck alone. I don't need that.
I just don't know.
Isn't it all connected?
What a chiropractor is going to do for me. I've been to an orthopedic doctor, like an actual doctor. No offense. And they've looked at it. I've gone to PT. I've done all this stuff. I just don't know what a chiropractor is going to do for what I have.
See, people are saying I refuse to call chiropractors doctors. They don't go to med school, but they claim to be doctors. So a lot of people saying that. So is that what it is? It's a fake profession. It helps relieve pressure and tension. I would say give it a shot, Spot. What do you have to lose?
I mean, I don't know. The ability to stand.
Yeah, but if you're having a back problem now, why would you not go there and they have you turn all these positions and you hear a lot of cracking. I feel like yesterday I felt like they beat the shit out of me yesterday.
I'd rather get a good therapeutic massage, some sort of like real massage.
The problem, I treat my body like some people treat their cars. I only bring it in when there's an issue. I get worried. So like right now I'm in severe pain and I would be like, okay, let me go try this out. But it's something that you can't just do when you're in severe pain. It's something you have to keep up with and it's preventative. And I just don't feel like I want to get into a whole routine of going to a chiropractor because I feel like once you do it once, it's like when you start cracking your knuckles, then you have to keep cracking your knuckles. Otherwise you're going to get stiff. I feel like if I get my back cracked, it's like forever. It's like now
I just figured it's the modern day Covino allergist. Hey, I have allergies. Have you seen an allergist? And Covino would get mad and be like, "What do you think I've investigated all this?" Spot's got a bad back. Like every week or so, Spot's like hobbling in, couldn't go to work a couple days. Like, you've never been to a chiropractor. How do you know that's not your solution? Could be. Just throwing it out there.
Anything like Tony said his chiropractor also does sports massage. If anything, I need to do like deep tissue massage.
That's what I mean.
Like almost like physical therapy.
I agree with Spot.
Yeah, I need to do physical therapy because when I had to do PT for my back, they specifically know the areas, the muscles, the regions to like loosen up.
And by the way, if it's nerve related, that chiropractor's not helping shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it depends what you're going there for. A lot of my back issues are like nerve related, and chiropractor's not helping that, not fixing that, not straightening that. Quick adjustment here and there I think could be beneficial probably, but
a chiropractor is trained to make sure your body is functioning optimally by using spinal manipulations to relieve pain in your joints and muscles. The adjustments they do increase blood flow and nerve conductivity to the joints and muscles.
Sounds predatory. Manipulation. I don't like it.
A chiropractor helps manage back and neck pain through the use of alignment. Focuses on the body's ability to self-heal, and it just gets your body in the right, they're sort of like, you ever been to the chiropractor and like, yeah, your left leg's
say that every time
longer than your right, or you're leaning one way, or I don't know.
You should see me walking now. I have to lean to the left.
That's muscle related though, I think.
Yeah, it's small muscle.
Yes, like your muscles pulling. I have that right now. My body's twisted.
There's no radiation. So it's not nerve related, I know, because there's no radiation down my legs. It really is. I seize up and get inflamed.
All right. Well, I just figured I'd throw it out there.
I don't think a chiropractor.
What are you throwing out there? The suggestion to Spot?
I mean, if he has back issues and every week or so it seems like it's reoccurring and it's getting aggravated, why not just go to a chiropractor and be like, all right.
And I did yoga 6 times last week, and I still I felt great. And then
instead of just
a
throwing it
little
out
bit
there,
of moving shit
throw
around,
out the
and-
benefits of why you think it's so great. Like, tell us why it's good. I've been there. I already told you.
I was
temporary relief, temporary, and then I'd have the same issues over and over again. And the joint, I would go there, man, multiple times a week to try to fix some of my issues. So I'm experienced there.
I guess
feel
when
like it's not, if you have real issues, I don't think it's going to help.
I guess when I go there, I buy I don't have a monthly membership. I buy a 10-pack or a 20-pack, and it lasts me a year or so. These things don't expire. So I think I bought a 15-pack for a couple $100.
I was looking for my little key card. I think I threw it away.
And to me, I went in there yesterday, and my neck was a little and my shoulder and I just felt a little achy. And they worked on me. It was a good 5 minutes. And sometimes you go in and out and you're like, well, that was awfully quick for my money. But yesterday they spent a good 5 minutes on me, doing.
Yeah, but sometimes that's the vibe I got. And I'm like, I'm paying a lot of money for this.
I'd
All right,
rather-
see you later. I'm like, that's it?
I'd rather spend that amount of money or maybe a little bit more on legit massage.
Same.
'Cause I
Sometimes,
really think
sometimes a massage might not be doing what you need it to do, though.
I really think if you got the right person who knew what they were doing.
I'm saying sometimes Covino's right. You go into one of those places and they're like, all right, lay in your stomach. And they do that thing when the table goes up and down. You're like, is this even doing anything? And they press on your back a couple times. Then they go flip over. They crack your neck and all right, it's later. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
What else?
I didn't like that.
Yesterday they gave me a good 5+ minutes and it was fantastic. That's why I thought about Spot. Unfortunately, no real exciting story other than I just think you should give it a shot.
I honestly understand how people with addictive personalities can get hooked on pain meds. I wake up in pain every day and I just want it to go away.
Well,
I really do. I want the pain to go away and I don't know how to make it go away. Not just my back.
623 says the chiropractor is great for sciatica. Also acupuncture. Also, go to a real chiropractor, not the joint. That's from 623.
I wish
how is that not a real chiropractor?
I wish someone would tell me what to do because I'm sick of having pain.
I have a slight curvature toward the base of my spine every now and then. The wrong movement will put me down for a week. That's from Mario Wrangle the Dangle, who sells incredible doggy gifts at onewranglebrands.com. Onewranglebrands.com. Lots of cool gifts there. Thank you, Mario.
5+ minutes is a substantial amount of time for a chiropractor. Usually it's 2 minutes. So what is it, $40 a session?
Sherry from New Jersey chimed in. Welcome back, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Sherry.
In regards to our last discussion,
Hi,
she
Sherry.
says, you have to consider that for some of us, it's not about money. I've always dated guys who are significantly older than me because guys my age are immature and I couldn't stand it.
Agreed.
Never had anything to do with money at all. I actually never let them pay for extravagant things, even if they tried. Sherry from New Jersey.
Hi, Sherry. If anything, this is cutting into my sex life too. I can't move.
Yeah, you can't. Again, Spot, you're down and out, and you're getting the bad end of the stick.
How am I going to bang people out when I can't move?
You know where that saying came from? Bad end of the stick? Because back in the Spartacus days, they used to wipe their ass with the stick.
That's not the end you want.
You didn't
No,
want that.
I thought it was, what's the fun dip stick? What is it?
Lick'em stick.
Look, I thought it was the lick'em stick.
Yeah, you don't want that.
It was the one that Rich put in his butt.
That's the one.
Doodoo Caca Finger, right? Terrio Brothers? Doodoo Caca Finger Davis is back at it again.
Doo-doo caca.
Yeah, I hear that Dr. who said it? Alejandro Michel. That Dr. Sarno book apparently is great for back pain.
Everybody talks about that.
Right?
Yeah, when
So
it comes
many-
to
yeah,
back pain.
so many people have sent
Changed
me
my
that.
life. You
I'm
hear
gonna
that?
have to- honestly,
Changed my life, man.
I haven't read a book in years. That's the book. Next book. I'm
Doctor
gonna read.
Doctor says you need a backiotomy. All right. Zombie viruses, Mia Khalifa, back pain, World Cup. I have one question for you, Covino, but I'd rather you get to what you got because mine's doesn't need to be done today.
I'd rather hear your thing. Get it off your chest. I feel like Rich brought up the Mia Khalifa thing for me. I thought that was it.
Mm-mm.
Well, that shit don't apply to me.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
You know, it sort of goes to something we talked about. I think it sort of ties into something we talked about a week ago or so. So follow my thinking. Do you remember I told you the world of social media home improvement
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to play those clips that I couldn't play last week?
cramps me and it bothers the fuck out of me?
It's a good one.
Yes, Pop, please play. Yeah, sure. The world of home improvement on social media
I like that.
aggravates me to the point. Like, you know how some women have body dysmorphia because every girl on social media looks like she's a 12? Because they're only posting the greatest filtered, amazing angle videos of themselves. And it's like, so if you went on social media, you would assume every girl in the United States is a fucking model.
You'd feel like all the people are built like Jesse James Decker's kids. Right? Yeah, I know. Like Eric Decker's kids. Like, man, why hasn't everybody got abs?
Everyone got abs.
Eric Decker's kids have abs?
That's the whole story. I'll get to it in the
yeah.
news. I'll get to it in the news.
But yeah, no, it's
like, why don't my kid have abs like their kids?
No, but if you go on social media, you'll think every girl in her 20s is a fucking model, and everyone's got a perfect ass. And my goodness, does everyone have perfect titties? Does every guy have abs? What is going on? I think more annoying than social media, because social media could hurt people in different ways. Kids feel jealous of other kids. Well, I don't have what they have. People. Social media is destructive, as we've pointed out many times. I think the social media category of home improvement is the one that's the most deceptive and the one that'll make you feel the worst. You see all these people that are like, I went to Home Depot and in one day I did this. And you're like, what? How? What? With what budget? How did you? And it is, to me, the one form of social media that makes me feel bad about myself. And so I feel about home improvements the same way probably teenage girls feel about the body dysmorphia pressure that other women put on them.
Is this a clip that depressed you?
I mean, there's one of them. The house we bought versus the house we made. Like, these are just typical clips.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Shitty old house, right?
Shitty old house. Look at that. Oh,
They're
gross.
scraping all over.
Look at an episode from this shitty old house.
Shitty old house.
Look at that shitty old house.
Oh, so all of a sudden it's a mom with fucking...
Sarah. Oh, that's
now
shit.
that
Wainscoting.
Now they're fixing everything. She's doing tile work too. Now she knows how to do tile work.
Oh, a little seal. I don't know what that was. I'm not going to pretend to know. Oh, what is that? Big bricks?
I'm just envious that people have skills.
I don't think they have skills. They just discover them as they go along.
Or the pictures they show you don't show that the shit doesn't even work, if that makes sense.
Oh, look at that.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, wow. This
You
is the
don't know
home
that.
now?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Where do people have the time to do this?
People have an eye. I'm more jealous of their eye.
Yeah,
I'm more jealous of the eye.
Oh, look
Sarah
at
and I debate that all the time.
Good
Neither
for
one of
them.
us. Neither one of us have the eye.
Sarah's got a great eye.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
Neither one of us have. Neither one of us have.
He stomped that.
Neither one of us have the eye.
I got to pee.
I don't know. I saw Sarah picking out some nice chairs yesterday. Nope.
Neither one of us have the eye.
Nope.
So social media, I think, is destructive when it comes to home improvement. What, you getting up? Okay.
This guy can't barely move.
Okay. Yeah, don't go to the chiropractor. You look like you're in good shape. Don't try that. I would.
Spot's moving around like he's 85 years old.
Honestly, I got a feeling like, what if we still know Spot when he's 85? This will be it. Like, I'll be right there, boys.
Jesus.
You really are walking. Like, this is. I wish people could see.
It's my old friend Spot.
Do you think I'm making it up?
Sometimes.
Thanks.
No, I didn't think you were that bad. He's hobbling like he can't even take his next step. Jesus. So, ties together with those clips I showed you, like here, before and after. Everyone's doing all their finishes, and all of a sudden everyone's house goes from like shitty old cabinets to like, look at this modern perfect kitchen. Everyone's like, look at my yard. Snap their fingers, it's perfect. And I'm like, who are these people? Where do they all live and what do they all do? Everyone I know has a fucking messy house with kid shit everywhere, or like, and then I start to get bummed out about it. But then you said something to me yesterday, and I'm like, man, we're all delusional. We're all delusional.
I don't think so at all.
You know how I
might be delusional about myself, but I don't think I'm delusional about...
You're delusional about others and yourself.
No, I don't think so.
You know how... I'll give you one. I saw another social media clip where when they talk about women who deal with body dysmorphia...
It sounds like you're hating a little bit. I agree with Bill. When you say these things, like, yeah, I get the feelings that you get and I can relate to them, But why not just give those people some props instead of just like dismissing that their shit even works or like it's impossible? How about they got skills? And that's what I'm really envious of. Not jealous of. Hey, they got an eye. I'm envious of that. Sounds like you're just hating on them. That's how I feel when you say these things. I have the same feelings, but I'm more envious than I am hating on them.
Like Chris said, I feel that way about holiday pictures. Everyone's house looks clean, and mine looks like a bomb went off. Alex said, I don't have that interior designer eye either, so I'll just find the room I like online and I copy it exactly. And that's what my contractor and a lot of people would suggest, like, hey, find me pictures of what you like and we'll recreate it. That's sort of how people operate in that home improvement space. Like
100%.
Hey, go on some blogs, go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, find what do you want your fucking bathroom to look like? Send me 5 pictures and we'll make it look like what you like. But when talking about illusions and delusions, I feel bad how Spot struggled just to walk 20 feet. That was crazy. You said something yesterday, and I think you're so off the mark. And it's one of those things where I saw an Instagram clip where they told some hot girl to like draw a silhouette of your body. And she drew like a bigger person. Like it's a true thing where like there's good looking women that
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I said it before. Body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
There's good looking women that are like, I'm fat. And it's not them just saying it. They're not.
I got it.
They genuinely feel that way. Like, I'm fat. And it's like, but you're not. Like, stop being silly. It's not them being attention seeking. They genuinely like have a warped perception of what they look like.
I got bulge dysmorphia. I'm like, why is it so big?
And then you look in the mirror and you're like, it's a little acorn.
But in my mind, I'm like, why is it so big?
It's not that big.
Stop being so big.
I think when I look in the mirror naked,
it's not that big.
When I look in the mirror naked, I feel like my junk looks bigger than when I feel like I look down at it.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like when I look at it from a distance, I'm like, oh, looks like, you know. So you said something yesterday, not to get into too much details, but you were talking about like former coworkers we had or random people we met along the way. Like, yo, can you believe that? How is that person retiring? Are they even 60 yet? And you're talking about other people like, oh man, they got a big house and this and that.
I think you like to downplay people's success to justify where you are. I really believe that. So I think the exact opposite of what Rich is about to say.
You think everyone...
Yeah, I think the same tone you had with watching people there, instead of giving them the credit, you just want to say they suck and that's it.
No, Covino believes the hype is what I'm saying. Covino's a hype believer and I'm not.
I'm not going to be retired at, in my late 50s like these guys. I think they made their money and they made wise decisions and they did things to retire. I give them all the props in the world. And I realize how far off we are from that, and it does make me question things. So, Rich loves to say, dude, and this is, great. He's like, you're in the 1%, the 1%. And it's like, yeah, and I live in a fucking condo in Los Angeles, and everyone has their own financial sort of, why don't I have that? Because they're not making enough money or whatever the case may be.
But I don't know what
people are successful. People make wise choices. People do things.
Now, choices are one thing. Income, like, all right, this is a guy we used to work with that you brought up. We'll just call him Ron. There's a guy we used to work with, Ron.
Ron Ross from The Pulse?
No, not Ron Ross from The Pulse. Good dude, though. One of my favorite nerdy radio guys. There's a guy we used to work with. Spot, you know him. We'll call him Ron. And Covino's like, man, is Ron retired? I think he doesn't even work full time anymore. What does Ron do? Man, look, everyone's fucking killing it, man. But no, everyone's killing it and we're not. And I'm like, Covino, I could promise you. And Spot, I want to see if Spot agrees with me.
I agree, Rich.
Without even saying anything?
I know where you're headed.
No, two things.
I feel like we had a minimum part of this conversation yesterday. I agree with
the
you.
guy that you're talking about, Ron.
Yeah.
You're like, look at his house, mansion with a pool and this and that. And you know what I said to you? I said, Ron lives in the middle of Virginia or Maryland or Pennsylvania. One of them.
He lives close to the Maryland, Pennsylvania
He's on
border.
the Maryland-Pennsylvania border in the middle of the woods. His house is probably $300,000. And your condo is, multiple times more than that.
Right.
So, yeah, if you want to live in the middle of Western Pennsylvania, have at it.
I could retire too.
Yeah.
Now, no, but here's the other thing.
10
Like
years.
we've always
I
said
said
this.
to back me up on one last point, Spot. This guy Ron that we speak of, that's like on the brink of retirement, and he's probably like late 50s, 60ish. No kids, lives in the middle of nowhere. And I said to Covino, I promise you, he's never made more money in a year than you.
Agreed. See, I agree with you.
He just chooses a completely different lifestyle that you just chose not to live. You want to live and have chosen to live in a more fun, crazy place in a world where, dude, you want to go move to the middle of nowhere? Mm-mm. You could buy a house for $200,000. His taxes a year, Lisa's right, his taxes a year are probably a couple $1,000s, and he probably paid off his $300,000 house. So of course, with no kids at late 50s, 60s, if he's making maybe a couple $100,000, yeah, he's able, with no kids, he's absolutely able to chill. Imagine if you made, let's say, 150. If we're talking about this guy, we'll call him Ron.
Yeah, but
if Ron's making 150,
doesn't apply to me. I'm trying to apply the things that people got to my own life. What do I need to get there my life? And when you sit on the fact that we make good money, that denounces and takes the steam out of all the drive that I'm trying to push forward. It's like you're never going to get to that point.
I'm not content.
If we're not yes, you are, because you always bring up the fact that you're still the 1%. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't answer the riddles of, well, when am I going to get the chance to have the house and retire?
All right, listen.
If not on this pace.
It's not that.
So I'm not saying I want his life. I'm saying, how do I apply that to my life?
It's not that I'm not content. I'm very happy, but I'm not content where it's like, I don't want more. Of course I want bigger things. I want that $1 million contract. I want that I want these things. But
yeah, but in order for me
along
to
the way,
have that,
but you need
I
to
need that.
But what I'm saying is, in order for you to get to where we want to get to,
otherwise I have
is
to
part of
move
your
to the
strategy.
middle of nowhere.
Is part of your strategy like being down on yourself about
It's
it?
not down on me. It's being realistic.
Yeah, but
it's being realistic.
You named
saying
another
you
guy.
got to push harder.
You named another guy we
need
worked
to
with.
push harder.
You named another
guy. If you
guy.
want his life in your life, you need to push harder to get there because we're spending lots of money. I don't want to move to bumblefuck nowhere and retire at 55 and in the middle of nowhere.
You could, though, if you wanted to.
I want to do those things in my life now in order to make that happen, to have a home with a backyard and all in my man cave and all the things. We have to light that fire under our assholes to get there, to make the money to account for that lifestyle. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. So it's not about being down on yourself. It's about being motivated. And it's about saying, yeah, we need to push harder to get there.
I agree that Covino uses it as fuel, and I get 100% of what Covino's saying.
How am I going to get there?
I'm just saying, I just think what I'm
Not
saying.
by being lazy,
my analogy is
by
this.
quiet quitting? How am I going to get there?
No. The same way some girl is body dysmorphic, or the same way I look at people on social media and I'm like, how did they do that to their house?
Yeah, but
it's
you're
all
acting
fake
like
illusion.
I want their life.
No.
I don't want their life at all. I want to be able to do those things in my life.
You brought up another guy, and I know you're going to say, I don't want his life, but you brought up another guy we used to work with. Handsome older guy. Spot, another common factor. He's not married, and he has no kids. And he was the boss for a minute. And from what I understand, he works part-time, does some volunteering, charity work. I think he lives in South Carolina.
I think these guys made real money, though, in their radio career when it mattered.
They didn't.
I think they did.
The guy Ron you spoke of was a radio producer. He was never a big program director or regional guy. And the other guy you're talking about was a program director in the East Coast. Back in the 90s and 2000s. What do you make? A couple $100,000 a year, maybe?
There's also a difference between good money and real money. You know, I'm shooting for real money so I could do whatever the fuck I want.
You could do whatever the fuck you want now, no?
No. So there's good money and then there's real money. And, if you're content with good money, then that's fine. And it's not about the money. It's about the ability to live your life. It's not about the money. No. It's about being successful and being able to live your life and being comfortable.
Man is never satisfied.
No. That's not true.
No, you'll get to a next level and then you'll be like, okay, now I have this. I want more.
And Neil Patrick Harris talked to us about that. Every level you get to,
and that's great. It's great to always want more. It is, but sometimes you also have to be appreciative of what you have. And like you live in a very nice place.
I'm saying there's a middle
You
ground.
could also live in a house if you wanted to. You just chose not to.
Yeah, I do want fuck you money. I do. We're in the industry where the ceiling's the roof. I'm not in it for the fucking fun of it. I'm in it to win it. Sorry, man.
Ceiling's the
we
roof.
have different goals then.
No,
Because I want real fuck you money. I do. Because that to me says, well, we're doing really well at what we do. Again, it's not about the fucking dollars in my bank account. You never hear me talk about that. I don't ever talk about that.
So you just want stuff?
No, I want fuck you money so that I could have a nice fucking life for my family, so that I could have property, so I could have things that I want for me. I did a whole behind the velvet rope yesterday of things shit that I want. I don't think that's a bad thing. Most of it is achieving my goals, which is to win it in this game. And you're very content with like, yeah, we're good. We're doing good. I don't want to do good. I want to do great.
I'm saying I want to be happy in doing good on our way to doing great. I'm not going to.
But no one's not happy.
No, but I'm
it's
saying
called being motivated, and it's easy for you to be happy. Like I said yesterday, dude, you have your yard, you have your 5-bedroom house, you have all this stuff, you have more money from SiriusXM, you had benefits there. I'm still on my grind. I'm trying to get my yard, get my home, and you could say, yeah, well, that's the bed you made. Of course. But that makes me push harder and want more when these guys, but you're good. I'm not trying to be good at anything. I'm trying to be great at something.
And I'm on board.
I'm sorry.
And
all right,
and I'm on board. I'm just saying.
Then where's the delusion? It's not about being hard on yourself.
I'm not saying
it's about pushing yourself.
I'm not saying it's a bad delusion. What I'm saying is, and this applies to anyone, I'm with you. I want to continue to grow and do bigger things and make more money and succeed. I have that drive and motivation, but what I'm saying is I allow myself to be proud of myself and happy in the moment on the way to those bigger things. And I feel like a lot of times you're like, hey, can you believe this fucking guy, when am I going to get mine? And I just feel like
you sit at home in a very beautiful
yeah, but I don't hate on those guys. I don't hate on those guys.
Scratching your thighs.
I'm applauding those guys.
Thinking that you need more. You should want more, but you don't need more. See the difference?
I mean, you don't need anything. It's the whole Mr. Beast theory, right? But it's not about
Mr. Beast who
needing things and wanting.
Who has everything?
He has.
It's nice to not want. It's nice to say that you don't need anything when you have everything.
He does. Yeah, because he's a beast. He's the best. He's great at what he does. I think it's more about that. It's more about the side product of, okay, we're doing it now. There's moderate success and then there's real success. There's good money and there's great money. I want that. I don't care if we're in the 1%. What's the 1% doing for me? Not a whole lot of anything, to be honest.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm not fucking living some sort of lavish life.
No, you're allowed to have bigger goals, but I think when you deal with friends and talk to friends that live week to week or have to look at their accounts and have to manage their money a little more budget wise, it reminds you that you're on your way.
Look, you have to size yourself up sometimes to see where you stand. We brought up my friend Gus the other day. I was like, you know how much my buddy Gus spent on his kitchen? Over $500,000.
And I don't believe that number.
Yeah?
I don't believe that number.
Top of the line everything. Because you're not even thinking in his realm. You're not even thinking of the fucking materials that he used for that house. I know what he paid for his fucking copper stovetop. What's it called?
The hood?
Copper hood was $14,000. So yeah, these things cost money. And, here I am fucking not wanting to spend $10,000 on a bathroom renovation. Because there's good money and there's fucking
and go out to eat.
Real money. It's just a matter of goals and what that is. There's nothing wrong with fucking pushing yourself for success. And
nothing wrong at all. I'm just saying.
And I don't downplay anyone's journey there.
I think what I'm saying,
you're downplaying them. I'm like, good for them, man. They're doing it.
No, I'm just saying I think there's two factors here. And you're going to say, I do enjoy it. I'm just saying along the way to success.
I know we're there.
I enjoy
it. There's no doubt. Like Dave Castillo says, the $10 million man. He goes, you're going down that Colin Cowherd path. For sure, they're grooming us, which is now a dirty word, grooming us to be that next show at an earlier slot. There's no doubt about that. We're sitting on $1 million contract. I'm very fucking happy about that. I'm super stoked about that. So I know we're going to get there. There's never a doubt in my mind. But, when shit gets lazy and shit gets content and, we're good and that, no. Because that mindset will never get you there.
You just don't want to be like Rocky in Rocky 3 where he's punching bubbles and, loses the eye of the tiger.
Yes. You lose the eye of the tiger if you don't.
No, I don't want to lose that. I'm just saying sometimes.
Keep yourself fired up.
Yeah, I agree. There's no way it's $500,000 for a single room, but I don't want to fight Covino. That would insinuate that.
Then you know. He's
how much is
over
his house
$500,000. It's $2 million house.
The kitchen's not worth a fourth of the house.
It is 100%. I'll fucking show you.
I would love his building. I would love his
whole
building
addition
statement.
Put on his house. It was $550,000.
Maybe that's part. Oh, maybe that's part of the renovation.
I told you that. It was part of the renovation.
No. You said the kitchen.
He busted out the whole house and did a whole new kitchen. So he made giant rooms with fireplaces in it. Fucking beams in his ceiling.
But that's part of the $500,000. That's part of the $500,000.
Yes,
You said a $500,000 kitchen.
$550,000. It was a kitchen extension.
So he put an extension on his house with a fireplace and a living room too.
My brother.
So that's not just
it was
a $500,000.
part of the kitchen.
My
He made
brother-
a gigantic. Again, you're not even thinking in his mind realm. He has a gigantic.
My brother.
Yes.
On his house, just did a renovation. Expanded the kitchen. Built the house out like 10 more feet. Redid the basement. Expanded the basement out. And that was like $300,000. So it's like
It makes sense when you're saying he blew out a whole part of his house. You just said, but your original.
I sent you the pictures.
But your original part was
Dude,
it's a kitchen.
It's his whole fucking kitchen.
Okay, that's fine.
I sent you the pictures. There's no need to argue. I showed them to you.
My point is, you're allowed to be hungry and you're allowed to want big things and you're allowed to be ambitious, but also at the same time enjoy the moment. And that's not what bothers me when you say
the moment
it.
makes you lazy, man. That's what I'm noticing.
Enjoying the moment makes you
lazy.
lazy?
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Just be hungry all the time?
Yeah. Feed me. Fucking Ezekiel Elliott. Let's go.
Yeah, but you don't think you should sit back and enjoy life?
I do enjoy. I enjoy winning, and that's I want to win this.
Yeah, but I just feel like, take time to just be happy with yourself about what you've accomplished and where you are.
Maybe it's like you haven't experienced financial setbacks, and like I said, you're in your home that you're happy with. I'm still like getting there again. Maybe that's it. But look, it keeps me driven.
But I'm just saying, I think the one thing that bums me out for some reason is when you cite people that we both know in common. And I think that's what bothers me the most, because I know you don't want their life, but there's people you point out.
What bothers you is that I'm pointing out that we're in a, we're not as killing it as much as you want to believe that we are. And that I think needs to fuel the fire. Even if that's not true and it lights your fire, then good. Because
like if you think our old employee
but Rich is
Ron
so like, dude, we're killing it. It's like, no, we're not killing it. Not killing it, bro. Not killing it. We're doing really good. We're not killing it. We may have weeks at a time where we're killing it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But we're not killing it. I don't want to be killing it. So you're so content on, man, we're killing it. No, we're not. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're doing really good. There's a difference.
But you have the means to enjoy life as much as you want right now. Unless you want to buy a yacht and have a PJ and spend your weekends in the Maldives every month, then I would argue that you have the means to enjoy life to the fullest right now. You don't feel that way?
If I did, I'd have a home.
Is a home the measure of success?
Yeah.
Or
I think so. A nice home.
Enjoying
that's
your
one
life.
Of it. One of the measures for me is to have a nice home. Yeah.
All right. So that's a
Could
life
I afford
goal
one?
of
Yeah.
yours.
Not here. I live in Los Angeles. So yeah, I don't want their life. I want my life. To get those things, you got to work harder.
If you sold your condo, you could buy a house.
I mean, like I said, you guys sit on your hands and content with, we're doing really good. We're not killing it. If you put our combined incomes together, it's good. And as Rich loves to say, it's in the 1%. And we should be proud of that. But that 1% gets us fucking nothing out here in Los Angeles.
I agree.
So how do I get the things that I want in my life?
Keep hustling or move.
That's it. So I'm the fucking delusional one? No, well, we got to keep pushing that.
But you think everyone, I think it's the delusion that you think everyone else
I think you're
like killing it. No one's killing it.
You're comparing yourself to a false representation of people's lives.
Correct. That's what bothers me. Your drive and ambition makes me happy because we're business partners. So I love the fact that you and I are.
I'm very proud of my condo, Andrew.
I love that you and I are on the same page and want bigger things, and we've been working together almost 20 years and we see things the same way. I love that. I think I just hate when you point out other people and think they're doing better than they are, because I feel like they're all an illusion. I feel like everyone on social media is an illusion. All former coworkers, like I feel like we all have the wrong idea.
I think you need to, you should have a vision board. You should always strive for something.
Why is it about what I think? What about what you think? I think we should all think bigger. How about that? That's what I think.
You should have a vision board, but having that feeling of like you have everything that you want will actually attract more than you being like, what I have is garbage, I need something else. It's that that law of attraction.
I don't think I'm wrong at all. It's like if you focus on muscles, you're not going to get muscles. You have to focus on the hard work to get the muscles. I focus on the hard work. If I was focusing on these material things, I wouldn't be attracting them into my life. What I am focusing on is the work to get there. So I think my mindset is pretty on point when it comes to it.
It is.
Okay, so I don't think I need to think about anything.
But you just need to.
Unless you want me to think about not worrying about being a success. Well, that's why I'm here.
No.
This is what I do.
No.
I don't want your mentality. I don't want it.
You need to keep your current fire, but just bring in a little bit of gratitude for what you have. I think
I'm very grateful for what I have. I love my place, but it's not my end game. That's not my end game. It's not my end game. Sorry.
I'd kill for a chandelier like that.
The chandelier's dope.
You got to get chandelier.
You got a chandelier.
I just figured I'd bring it up because I wrote down people retiring. Like Covino pointed out a couple people we know that are retiring, and he's like,
you got a sauna.
I don't know. I just felt like
that sauna doesn't work.
You got a pergola.
Your mindset's in the right place.
Sweet ass grill.
I like your mindset.
It's all relative. Like people could see what I want. I mean, what I have, and be like, I want that, and I get that, and I love that, and I appreciate that. But I see other shit, and I'm like, I want that. And I'm not focused on downplaying what they got. I'm focusing on working hard to get that.
Well, hey, it's the I guess it's the one negative of living in the most beautiful state.
Yeah, you want to hear? I don't reveal this type of stuff. Yeah, of course.
I mean, you live in the most beautiful place. It's like you want to go to the nice restaurant, or you want to eat at the shitty restaurant. Prices are different.
Between mortgage, this will put things in perspective for you. And you can say, well, it's amazing you can make that kind of money. Well, it's also amazing that most of it goes out the window.
You have a Toto toilet.
Come on. Between mortgage and HOA fees, agent fees, and child support. Those are 4 things. That's not counting the car and insurance and anything else.
He only has one Toto toilet.
So those 4 major expenses.
He needs another.
Okay, child support, lawyer fees.
Lawyers,
agent fees. Mortgage and HOA fees. $7,500 a month.
You have payments. I know you got to make. You have payments to make.
That's $7,500 a month.
You have payments.
If I sit on my hands, am I ever going to get the things that I want? Think about that. What about the things I want? I have to work twice as hard, push twice as much, especially living here in California. Yeah, my buddy I was talking about lives in Bumblefuck, New Jersey. Yeah, but guess what? You still want those things, so you got to work a little harder if you're living somewhere like this.
You could live somewhere else, but you'd be depressed.
Alex is so off. Comparison is the thief of joy. I get it. That's a great saying. Not comparing myself to anybody.
Even people.
I'm saying I'm trying to push myself to work harder to get those things that I want. If you're telling me that's the wrong formula, I'm here to tell you I think you're wrong.
No, listen. I think we could sum it up with, you're not comparing people, but when you do see people, like when I go to Texas, I see my friends down there have beautiful homes, right? That I look at these beautiful homes and I'm like, oh man, look at this. And I'm like, yeah, but they live in like Selma, Texas. I don't want to live in Selma, Texas. I don't want to live in New Braunfels, Texas.
But I want that lifestyle. So what do I have to do?
I know, but you have to work more hard then.
Harder. Is the countdown over?
Thank you.
That's all.
All I'm saying. Of course I can have those things. I don't want to live there. Tony Moriel is going to adopt me. I'm not sure why, but thanks.
Yeah, let him adopt you.
All right. Well, anyway, rando news of the day.
That's weird.
You know,
Rando news.
I think
hit it.
Rich's ego. No. Honestly, hold on.
Sorry.
Backtrack. Because
Okay.
like I'm the delusional guy. Let's remember how this all set up. Rich is the delusional guy. I mean, I'm delusional, and I think all these terrible ways. I know I'm crazy.
Who thinks you're thinking terrible?
I didn't
Listen.
say any of that.
I really think Rich's ego takes a bit of a hit when I call out people that I view as more successful.
Because you're wrong,
sometimes.
because I know the truth.
But I think otherwise. You know, I'm like, yeah, man, I think they're killing it. And
But usually
because I'm so in tandem with you, you're like, no, dude, we're the guys. And I'm like, well, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
but what I'm saying is a lot of times the people Covino will call out as like killing it. I'm like, are they really? You think they are, but you really okay.
I'd rather live in my 1,200. Well, I hate it, but I'd rather live in my 1,200 square foot apartment and go on a vacation.
That's the problem, man.
Then
You're a grown man. You're okay living in an apartment?
I mean, it's me and Kristen.
It's a
What more
nice
do we-
apartment,
what more do
but
we
you
need?
don't want more than that? You don't want a yard? You don't want a house?
No.
No, I do. I find it odd that you want to live the rest of your life in a little apartment.
I agree with that.
Okay, so, and it's a nice apartment. Not saying you should be ashamed by any
Clearly,
means.
I should be.
No, clearly not. Clearly I'm
I live in-
questioning that you don't want more.
I live in poverty.
No. Clearly, I think I made it very clear that I find it odd that you don't want more than that.
I want more experience, or I want to like.
No, but
save
maybe
and-
that
and
lack
later
of
in
wanting
life
more is
be able
not
to
making you push harder.
No, I want to. I want to experience. Like I went on a nice vacation to Bora Bora. That wasn't cheap. I would love to do that again. Something similar. So I would rather put my money towards that, and that's
How
an experience.
about killing it where you could do all that?
But even then, I feel like we've always lived modestly. We wouldn't. You once you get more money,
No one says you need to be.
you can't live you can't live your life like you won the lottery, because then you'll end up in poverty again. It happens constantly.
It's an interesting conversation, and I'm glad it was brought up because I feel like I don't only have these conversations with Covino. I have these conversations with like my old school friends where they're like, "Yeah, can you believe this person's this or this person's this?" And a lot. There is always comparing going on, and it's not a game of envy or a game of look what they have or look what they don't have. It's just you always want to feel like. I'll give you the analogy. You know how you would always say you would go take a test in school and you look around the classroom to be like, does everyone else know the answers or not know the answers? Well, you're constantly in a game of like, where am I? Because if you're not going to compare yourself to your peers and your old classmates and your coworkers, then who are you? Quote, comparing yourself to? So it's natural and normal to do that. It's just, I feel like a lot of times when you compare yourself to other people, I love your fire, drive, and passion, but I think when you compare yourself to others, you give them way too much credit.
I agree with that statement.
No, I'm thinking about what do I need to do to get there.
But
I'm telling you, you're already above them.
I don't think. Yeah, I think you're already ahead of most of the people you're thinking.
Like,
of.
the guy
I'm ahead of them if I move to bumblefuck nowhere. I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. So then how do we get these nice things and how do we live comfortably?
These people are all in debt. Just being.
Yeah, just
Honestly,
stop caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
I could live a very nice life if I went into debt.
Yeah.
And then it'll just disappear when I die.
All right. Well, hey, that's
here's the rando news of the day. Back to the news.
Honestly, who's going to
snappy.
inherit my debt when I die? No one.
I think when I'm hard on myself in these ways, I guess you could say that, but to me, I'm just motivating myself. But when I'm hard on myself as Rich perceives it, Rich also takes it that I'm being hard on him because we're in the same sort of boat. You know, even though
I guess so. Yeah, I can
because
see
we
that.
make the same kind of money. So when I put the reality out there, like, yeah, we're doing good, but there's a lot of people out there doing a hell of a lot.
Like you'll bring up someone that
And
like.
do you want to be like them, or do you want to be like the guy who's just cruising by?
Forge your own path.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. Believe me. Yeah, absolutely.
I would argue that you are. You are forging a path.
Now let's get into the news.
Appreciate what you've accomplished and what you are going to accomplish.
News.
Oh, was it time?
News.
Biggest news of the day is that Rich forgot to wear his shirt. USA all day. USA, Iran. It's Iran. Let's get it right.
Iran's so far away.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in Qatar or Qatar, but it's somewhere out there.
13 minutes in, no score.
Okay, so there you go. Enjoy that. We believe that they could win. A fan hit a shot, I need to fucking follow this guy's path to success. Fan hit a shot for 75,000 yesterday at the Lakers game. Did you see that?
No, the Lakers
Half-court.
blew a lead though. I saw that.
A terrible blown lead. Yeah, against the Pacers. So a fan hit a shot for $75,000.
$75,000.
Pretty awesome. Casey Anthony. Her documentary premieres tonight on Peacock. It's called Where the Truth Lies. And, you know, she's just one of those names people love to talk about and shit on and be like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Here's another victim story. So Casey Anthony is a docu-series. You going to watch that or no? No?
I've had to start anything about kids getting hurt or killed. Like, it's like I can't watch it. I
How
don't
about
like
kids
watching
with abs? You okay?
Kids with abs, that's a whole nother story.
Whose kids have abs?
Jesse James Decker is accused of
Where is this?
overtraining her kids. It's Eric Decker. You remember Eric Decker. He married Jesse James Decker, who was on our show years ago.
Who was?
Accused of overtraining their kids. And I got to be honest, here's the tough moral
Jesus
ground, right?
Christ.
No, because everyone's quick to criticize the fat little Mexican kid in the stroller, right?
Yeah.
But then when a kid is super ripped,
Oh my God.
yeah, that's a little much, man. I don't know, but when the kid is healthy, then everyone complains about that too, right? So it's like you can never win. But yeah, the kids are like extremely ripped. I think
I mean,
it's odd. It looks odd. It's like a little Hercules. Yeah, their kids are like they're not eating Fun Dip. I can promise you that.
And they're
not eating Lorna Doone.
But they're probably just have low body fat, and that's okay.
Yeah, but they're like extraordinarily
they're
ripped.
abnormally ripped, but better this than a fat little kid, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's like we're so quick to judge. Look at the unhealthy shit you're giving your kid.
We're quick to shame health,
right?
But we can't shame like if their kid was like you said, eating Fun Dips and
I guess it's better
cookies.
But there's a middle ground, right? So
there's a middle ground we're searching for and everything.
But she's getting a lot of heat for that.
I have no problem.
That's the story spot.
No problem with it.
It's a bit much, but yeah, I see people are just weirdos.
I mean, as long as they're not like forcing this upon their kids, I see no problem. If their kids are very active, if they're kids do a lot of
You mean their dad who is an NFL star? I mean, come on,
they're
they have
probably
good genetics.
they're
too.
probably hanging from trees and like pulling themselves. They're probably doing like crunch.
They have good genetics.
Crunches.
Yeah,
Good
they have great
genes
genetics.
and great diet and the budget to afford that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure they're not eating ho-hos and Swiss Miss swirls.
Hey, you know what I want?
I want a Smith swirl. I want a Smith swirl.
I want those keto meals delivered to me every day. Those factor
yeah.
keto meals.
Honestly, if I think that's
I'm not killing it enough to get that.
I think I might do that.
I want to do that too.
I'm going to do that. I think I might start doing that.
I think I might too.
I'm going to start training.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend all my money on fitness.
All right. 3 more stories moving
so
on.
I can live longer.
Will Smith said to Trevor Noah that the slap was in regards to bottled up rage. Let's be nice to each other. So he addressed it, and that's sort of like trending today. Will Smith was bottled rage. Bottled rage, let's be nice to each other, he says. That's his campaign after smacking someone on the biggest stage possible. But I get it. Whatever. He's sorry. And this is a story that I found interesting. We'll end on this. Lisa Praggio actually sent it to me.
Hey.
There's like a new, let me try to describe it to you first. You know what Oculus is and virtual reality and all that stuff? Okay. Well, it's gone so extreme. There's an article courtesy of Vice.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone so extreme that a guy developed a virtual reality head device, right? That actually ends your life if you die in the video game. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's out there. Vice is talking about it.
Jeez.
I don't think people have it yet, but it's developed.
That's one way for population control.
Yeah, man. It's kind of gross, actually. Let me see if I could give you one quick little nugget about it, and we'll move on. It's called the Palmer. Oh, Palmer Luckey made a virtual reality headset that kills the user if they die in the game. It explodes the forebrain of the user who dies in the video game.
Holy bananas.
Luckey is the founder of Oculus, a company he sold to the Facebook in 2014 for $2 billion. This is the technology that Mark Zuckerberg rebranded and founded for Meta. So the Oculus story is kind of growing. And there's a new Behind the Velvet Rope available now. I did one last night. It's called Cyber Monday and Shit I Want. Now, how do I get all that shit I want? I got to push a little harder, right? Meaning figure out ways to make this and what we do bigger. And we're on our way with the Fox Sports Radio stuff, which we hope leads back here to the Patreon. And again, we got shit available for Cyber Monday still till Wednesday. Code CNR CM15. CNR CM15.
Covino and Rich.
No minimum purchase.
Cyber Monday 15.
There you go.
15% off.
All right. Hey, we'll see you guys later today on Fox, and then, of course, tomorrow, right back here on the Patreon. Love you. Appreciate you. And again,
feedback continues at Covino and Rich.
Shop.covinoandrich.com. And we'll see you guys later. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.